All right, guys, welcome to the Unsuppressed podcast by Kryptik Tactical. My name's Kyle, founder of Kryptik. This is Corey and John. If you guys want to introduce yourselves.
Good.
Hi, John. I just got out of the Marine Corps back in February. I've been divorced twice, and yeah, now I'm stuck here.
Bit of an alcoholic.
Fair enough.
I'm Corey. No military experience, nothing like that. Been playing Call of Duty since I was little, so I got that. And working on my first divorce still, so we're good.
Hopefully Kelsey doesn't hear this.
I said it's a working, like...
Wait, hang on.
That didn't sound
I
good.
said I was working on it. Shit.
First and only marriage.
Good stuff.
There you go.
Absolutely.
All right. So, just the first obvious topic to jump into, and it's a little heavy for the first podcast, but during some of our recordings before it was actually the Unsuppressed podcast and all that, we kind of went over the Afghanistan thing, but kind of the way it's gone the last few weeks, though, I figured it kind of warranted bringing back up, especially for you. I figured you probably had some new thoughts on it.
See, I'm gonna end up suppressing myself on this one.
First one?
Yeah,
First topic right out of the gate.
I have to suppress myself because I am still on a contract, and as we've seen with Lieutenant Colonel Stuart Scheller, he had to recuse himself from the Marine Corps for speaking out on.
Oh, so I didn't hear about that.
Afghanistan.
There's been a lot of people stepping away from military careers.
Yeah, he came out demanding accountability, wanting to know what happened, why it was such a colossal foobard operation, and they sent him out for a mental health evaluation and relinquished him from command.
You know, now that you say that, that does kind of sound familiar, but I didn't know specifics or much about it. I don't think that's so fucked up.
Yeah, but
like that's not
those. I just straight up called out that I was in the Marine Corps.
Well, I hear you. No,
out, so I'm not.
I get it. That's cool, but
and you know they'll be watching this.
Exactly.
You know, it is a high possibility that somebody could watch it.
I hear it. No, screwing with you, but I did hear about that, and the creepiest thing is that warrants a mental health evaluation. Like,
the way that he went about it, they thought that he might have had a mental snap from his PTSD, because in the video he said, "We've all killed people. I've killed people. And I've looked for help to deal with that. But in this situation," and that's how he went about it, and went with him basically saying that he has PTSD. They went, "All right, well, you're going to get a mental health evaluation. Just, we want to make sure."
Jeez. I haven't seen it, so I can't really speak to what was said, but that is it's kind of screwy. I mean, it sounds like, how dare you question the dear leader? What's wrong with your head? But
I was gonna say that seems like it's sending a message almost. Like,
yeah, more than anything.
Yeah.
But dude, I don't know. What we knew when we talked last, which, like I said, was kind of a pre-taping thing, so I don't know if that's going to get shown or not. But what we knew last time we talked about it was just the amount of equipment they left, and that was about the biggest gripe we had at the time, is what are you doing? Since then, so people know the reference, 13 U.S. service members killed, along with dozens of Afghans at a suicide bombing at the airport.
Which I actually found out wasn't Taliban. That was a
ISIS-K or what?
Yeah, it was some.
I don't know what the hell
party,
the difference is.
And the Taliban went, "We didn't do that. That was these guys. You want to mess them up? Fair enough, but you're still out of here by such and such date."
Yeah, it's still just the biggest part to me is the Bagram Air Base thing. Why they would leave that behind? If you look at, like we pull up satellite images of it, and we're looking at where it's located. I mean, there's a reason they put the airbase there. It's super strategic. It was a good spot to be. And why they would just abandon that. I don't know. Like Tucker Carlson was one of the guys who like came out as like they almost screwed this up so bad on purpose. And the fair, realistic side of me wants to be like, no one would do that. But it is like, it is so screwed up. It's almost
so
the
bad that
easier
it's
option.
Yeah, it's so bad that it would almost, you'd rather it be on purpose than have people that are incompetent in charge.
So we're doing away with the M16 and the M4 within the within the military.
Right.
So those getting left behind. Yeah, we shouldn't have left firearms for the enemy, but they're being phased out.
But they were good enough to use for the last how many years?
I mean,
we're getting new ones now.
I know,
so.
but still, that's still.
Trust me, if you ever had a military issued M16 or M4, they've had so many rounds fired through them. The upper receiver actually goes cut, and they're barely accurate.
it is kind of funny. I mean, they're swapping out their Soviet era AKs for them, so they're obviously better than those things. But it is funny, like compared to that one, it's kind of nice because they're super smooth. Everything's like glassy smooth on them. It's just because they're worn the fuck out, including the barrel, which you don't want to be smooth. they are junk,
Yeah,
but
rounds tumble.
but. I mean, someone joked on a post. I saw like there was some post, and they're like, in 20 years, the M4 is going to be like the terrorist weapon. Like when you look at an AK-47, that's what you picture now. They're like, once the military does change and the U.S. doesn't use it anymore, they're like, 20 years, the M4 is going to be like, the Taliban weapon.
Yeah. What was the other thing that I saw? Oh, the new weapon that the military is going to. It's going to be a 7.62. So not only
By 39?
I didn't really read too much into it. They just said that it's going to be chambered in 7.62, which means we're literally completely flip-flopping.
Going back. The one that I saw, it's some kind of... I thought it was like a 6mm or something. Like it's something new, or 7mm or something. I don't know. It's like a new round. The one that I saw anyway. That I know the Army's using. I don't know if the Marines are going to use something different or not. Hey, did you say, is it the one with the nylon casing? It's like plastic casing?
Might have been. I said, this was about 2-3 months back. I saw it and I went, oh, that's going to be cool. And just kind of glanced past
There's one, I forget the abbreviation. I keep forgetting. I keep looking it back up and I keep forgetting it. But it's like the...
Probably look up.
Yeah, you guys talk, I'll look it up.
Well, not necessarily, but we got a computer at our disposal.
So how's everything going?
It was better until we leaped off of this, but, I'm adapting.
Not
I was gonna say, is this
qualification.
like public knowledge?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a new weapon. I forget who developed it. SIG, maybe? I think it's, it is SIG because it's based on the MCX.
Well, that's cool.
Defense News. Hang on, let me go to this.
Yep, headed to troops by 2022.
This SIG prototype is the one that won. I hate
That looks like
bullpups.
an M4 or an AR-15.
I'm not a big fan. It's similar. The MCX is like an M16. I forget what they're called. The Next Generation Squad Weapon, NGSW. Maybe that's the abbreviation I kept saying I was forgetting. But does it say what it's chambered in here? It's some new round, but it's like plastic rounds. Or plastic casings.
I was going to say, that seems unaffected.
That's the new gun. It's based on the M4. It's super similar to an M4. But 6.8. A 6.8mm round. Yeah, NGSW, Next Generation Squad Weapon. Use a 6.8mm round. Look at these things. It's weird. It's like a white plastic casing with a copper bullet. Yeah, this.
Really?
Yeah.
That kind of makes sense.
I mean, the whole point is to be lightweight, cheap.
Cheaper to manufacture, yeah.
And plus, Magneto can't take it from you.
Magneto. I don't know who that is.
So this like confirmed that's
Yeah, that's the thing.
that's the new round?
Yeah. At least as far as now, but the SCAR was going to be the next thing. I mean,
I don't know how long they're going to run that nylon casing, though.
I don't either. That's what I mean. Like, stuff changes. Who knows? But
Worst case scenario, we just give it to the Taliban and try again.
best case scenario is that hits the U.S. market. Because they just banned the steel case ammo. Did you either one of you see much about
I
that?
heard about that.
I know I sent some about it. The U.S. just set sanctions against Russia, which bans any ammunition made in Russia, which is about 45% of the U.S. ammo market.
Really?
So steel cased ammo is gone. Like I don't know of any U.S. made
Good
steel
news
cased
is
ammo.
ammo's really cheap right now.
Yeah.
I mean, the best thing is, like, didn't we just shoot some of that steel cased ammo last week?
Yeah.
My arrow doesn't
Yeah,
shoot
I'm
steel
not.
case.
I'm not too.
Yeah,
upset.
Corey's happy.
I'm not too upset that the steel case didn't. We can't get it anymore.
Yeah, neither one of yours cycled it.
It sucks that it's not an option anymore, though.
Yes, but well, especially for AK guys. If you're an AK guy and that's like your go-to, they're made to shoot steel. I mean,
Yeah.
like there is copper ammo, but it is not that common. You remember all those boxes we saw and how cheap they were?
Yeah.
That's over.
That sucks.
And pretty much the only copper cased or brass cased AK ammo is like match grade. Like that's why it's not steel case.
Yeah,
So
they'll adapt, though, won't they, don't you think?
it takes years. That's what they were saying. The U.S. market was like, because some people were like, well, can the U.S. companies start making steel cased ammo? Like have a cheap option. They're like, it takes years to start like making something new. And to ramp up production. That's why when in 2020, when between COVID and all the riots and stuff, when the supply went way, or the demand went way up, that's what people were like, we just make more. And they're like, that's not really an option. Like just to start doing it, it takes a long time. So yeah, it's bad news. It's not good. But that plastic ammo could plastic cased. I saw some video the other day. There's this blue. They call it like blue plastic ammo. I've only seen it in 308, 7.62. It's like some German training ammo, but it's like a normal 308 bullet's like 147 grain or something like that. An AR bullet's 55 grain. That's the weight of the bullet. The this one is like, one guy said 40, but another person said 10 grain. So either way, it's a 308 that's less than a AR bullet. It's plastic. It's blue plastic. The bullet is plastic. But it goes like 4,000 feet per second, which is stupid fast. Like,
Jeez.
yeah, I think an AR is like 2,800-ish, and that's considered a super fast one.
What's the range on that round?
I don't know. Some guy, so he punched paper at 50 or 100 yards, and it was like spot on. Like it was like right where his normal, like he hit right bullseye. He's like, oh, cool. Well, then I watched another video. Same guy shot like a ballistic gel. He shot it 3 times. 2 of them bounced off. One of them bounced off so hard it went back past him. He was at.
See, that
it's
almost
about
sounds
10
like
yards.
it'd be a non-lethal deterrent round.
I thought that. I'm like, is it? Well, I mean, again, it's a German, like they call it training ammo. I guess for
shooting at the
cheap
range.
It'd
practice.
be fun to take to the range.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's,
But yeah, I did think, I'm like, could that be like you'd use your normal stuff? Kind of like, did you guys ever use simunition?
I did not personally use it, but yes. You're
Yeah.
talking about with the red block on the end?
On the end of the gun? No, I'm talking about the stuff that actually
Sim
shoots.
rounds.
Yeah.
Yeah, where they're like little paint pellets.
Yeah, it's basically
Yeah.
paintball rounds for an M4.
that's cool.
Yeah, kind of.
Hurt?
Sure.
Yeah, I figured.
They did like training it with like you had to wear like full body armor, like legs, everything, and people were bruised through it. Everything. It's still going pretty quick, but yeah, but it's basically a paintball. It's kind of cool. But I was like, I wonder if it works like that. I said yowie yowie. I wonder if it works like that or if it. I don't know. One of them did punch about 1.5 inches into this ballistic gel. I'm like, 1.5 inches into is. It's gonna be a really shitty day. Like that's.
Yeah.
I don't know. But then he shot the block with a normal 308. It was this long block, and it all the way through it had smoke puffing out the back. So just to show, he's like, it's normal ballistic gel. So it's super fast, but super light. I don't know. It was just kind of interesting. But something's going to have to happen for the U.S. market. Because, I mean, people can't keep paying it, but the demand is still through the roof.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm really screwed. I don't have a stockpile to go off of.
Well, it sucks
Hey,
because...
I know a guy that does. We could roll him.
If only there was a way to get into his house or something. Like,
I don't have a stockpile.
please don't rob him.
No, it is funny. I don't know nothing.
You see this?
Try it.
Come and take it.
No, what sucks though. Okay, yeah. What sucks is like even the ammo you do have. Those like when we went to the range the other day. It's like you don't want to just mag dump and screw. I mean,
Well, that's what I was going to say.
No,
I
you
might have
screw
to
around
invest
too much
in one
anyway,
of
but
those
it's like-
22 conversion kits.
seriously, yeah.
It's like the only
I
way
think-
going to the range is going to be feasible. So
It's like what you have needs to be safe for what you have, or what you need. Like I think they say about 1,000 rounds is kind of a good emergency. Like, oh crap. I personally, well, it depends on the emergency, I guess. A combat loadout's what, 210, 7 30-round magazines, 210 rounds.
Yeah.
So it's like, to me, that's kind of. I mean, if it's enough to go into the field with, that's an emergency. But people are talking like
doomsday.
like doomsday type emergency where you may have to do that a few times.
When those guys go out, they've got like 10 mags on them, and then like 2 or 3 bandoliers of ammo on top of that.
Right, that's the thing. There's someone
Yeah.
carrying more ammo around somewhere though. So I don't. Yeah, they say 1,000 rounds is what you should like a minimum to be sitting on. But I mean, how do you tap into that though? Like, so say you have 1,000 there. It's like, okay, well, you can't train the way you're supposed to because, like, one of the classes I was just looking at the other day says at least 300 rounds. So like 300 to 400 get you through the class. I'm like, okay, so someone like you, say you just invested in about 1,000 rounds for an emergency. Okay, well now you need to train, so you need another 300, 400, 500. Jesus. Like, and yeah, especially when the stuff was 30 cents a round, that wasn't too horrible. Now it's between 50 cents and $1, depending on what kind you're getting.
Yeah, that's horrible.
Yeah, it's not good times. I do think eventually.
So what you're saying is we need to invest in a hopper and a reloader, and
The class said you could use steel case. They did not want you to use reloaded ammo. Reloaded ammo is
Hey,
frowned upon more than or more than steel
We
case.
talked about sponsorship. We need some ammunition companies to sponsor.
Just start
first
throwing
and
it.
foremost.
Hornady, where you at?
Dude, it's so sad because even like gun YouTubers now are like, I didn't get to shoot this as much as I want because I got to save my ammo. I'm like, oh my
that
god,
sucks, man.
they're sent free ammo. This is their job, and they're like, I didn't get to push this one too much. I'm like, it sucks. Shitty times. Those 22 conversion kits are going to be a lifesaver. I mean, again, you don't get the recoil, and so really, even any follow-up drills where you're like trying to do 2 or 3, it's going to be fake. Not like a 5.56 is a ton of recoil, but it's more than a 22. Like there's nothing in that thing. So even if you're practicing like a up and 1, 2, 3, it's like it's not real because you're not getting any recoil. You know, like part of the practice is getting used to that recoil, and if it's not there, no, I mean, I think you can do some pretty good drills with the 22, like an up and just on target and shoot and back down, stuff like that, or one target and then another target, something like that. But everything's shit.
Welcome to the podcast. Our
Life
country is shit. Ammunition is shit.
everything sucks and I want to die. I really, even though this is like a cryptic podcast, I really didn't talk about I didn't plan on let's just dive into gun stuff, but it did remind me because I was looking at this new 6.8 round that they're coming out with. Do you know the ACR? You said you were a left. Yeah, I was going to say, you said you were a Call of Duty player. The ACR? You know the ACR?
ACR 6.8.
Okay, so the history of the ACR. It was developed for the SCAR program. The SCAR got called the SCAR because it won the SCAR program. It's Special Operation Command Assault Rifle. So the FN Mark 16 and Mark 17 won, so they're the SCAR 16 and 17. Another submission was the ACR. It didn't win, but it kind of got popular. It was on Call of Duty. It was pretty cool.
It should have
people
won.
liked it.
Based on its
You
performance.
shut
in
your
Modern
mouth.
Warfare 2.
You shut your mouth.
You shut your mouth.
The SCAR's the shit. But anyway,
I'm just joking.
I know. So, Magpul was the one who originally designed the ACR. in its name at the time, they designed the Magpul Masada. And if I'm screwing this up, forgive me. I'm going on what I know. Magpul designed it themselves as the Magpul Masada was the name of it, which is pretty fucking cool.
name, yeah.
When it got put into this contest, they call it the Advanced Combat Rifle or whatever it was, the ACR. It was produced because Magpul...
Wait, the ACR was made by Magpul?
It was developed by Magpul. They designed it and did all this stuff. But because they don't make guns, they turned it over to Remington to manufacture. The same way like Armalite kind of does... Well, I guess they made it too.
Call of Duty got that right too.
But Colt started making the M4, even though Armalite developed it. So Magpul designed this gun. Remington started making it. Well...
Call of Duty got that right.
Did they? What?
Modern Warfare 3, they put branding on some of the guns, and it was a Remington ACR.
Yeah, so that's the military one. So when it kind of almost got popular, Remington made the military ones, and also owned by the same company as Remington is Bushmaster. They made the Bushmaster ACR, which was a civilian one, the semi-automatic only one. And
But those are expensive as shit, huh?
less than a SCAR. Yeah. Well, just wait, because it gets better.
Okay.
So the cool thing about them, same thing as a SCAR, because they had a lot of the same requirements for this program. One of the things they wanted was you to be able to use or change the barrel, like in the field. Doesn't have to be super easy, but like the SCAR, you can change the barrel. It's not super, super easy, but it's way easier than an AR. Like where you got to put it in a vice block and have special tools and stuff. It's something you can just kind of swap. The ACR, I'll show you a video, not on this, but later, I'll show you a video. You like take the handguard off. It's got a push pin like an AR or a SCAR. You take the push pin out. Then like the handguard slides off the front. And then there's like a little ratchet tool. So you like open this tool and then like ratchet the barrel off and it just comes off. And you can put a new barrel on it, ratchet it down, and put it all back together. You can change a barrel.
Can you look up what an actual ACR looks like?
Yeah.
Like how a 249 Bravo's barrel comes on and off?
Similar. So, that was the idea. Well, it never really caught on. Part of why is because the aftermarket sucked. Like, they're like, the whole thing is barrel interchangeability, all this stuff. Well, they'd never made the barrels. So people were kind of like, okay, well, this is kind of dumb. Like, you know, like, we're not going to buy this thing if there's no parts or anything for it. Let me go.
Okay, yeah.
Damn it. Here we go. Yeah. So, again, you can see similar to a SCAR. Like, I mean, it kind of...
It looks similar. It
Yeah.
almost looks like a SCAR M4 hybrid.
Yeah, it kind of is. Now, the stock, people love the stock. People put these stocks on SCARs all the time. But...
Which one? Because that looks like a SCAR stock.
This?
Yeah.
It probably looks like that because so many people put SCAR stocks on them. Like, that's an ACR stock made by Magpul. The other cool thing, I don't know if you can see it here, but unlike an AR where it like screws on, there's no, the grip is part of the lower. It's a Magpul grip. So like they made their own parts and stuff. But yeah, so this pin comes out, barrel slides off, you can take the barrel off. But they didn't make any aftermarket barrels. The other thing was when they made these, they had a 1 in 9 twist, which I know you don't know all this stuff yet, but that has to do with like the twist rate inside the barrel. Let me back up too because
Like
this
the rifling, you mean?
yeah. So what that means is it rotates once every 9 inches. Now, what's kind of modern and better is a rotation every 7 or 8. It's like a tighter spiral. This had a pretty short spiral. When Magpul designed this and Remington took it over and started making it, they said it was going to be about $1,200. When it hit the market, it was about $2,500. The barrel was a 1 in 9, which was more similar to like cheaper guns, which better was kind of 1 in 7, 1 in 8. They said we're going to have aftermarket barrels. You can put shorter barrels, longer barrels, depending on what you're doing. Like if you're doing marksman stuff, you can put a longer. Never made the barrels. So eventually it just didn't sell and it kind of crapped out. So it has a ton of potential. No one ever did anything with it. So going back to what kind of what I got excited about is the, as you may know, because I was looking, Remington has gone out of business. They're done. They got sold off all their pieces. Yeah, Remington.
That was a while
Dunzo.
ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, about a year ago. Remington is Dunzo.
That's still shocking to me.
They got restructured like probably 2 or 3 times in the last 15 years.
It's like hearing that Browning or Winchester went away.
Were you waiting? I felt like you were setting up for me to like, they did. But yeah, no, it's an institution almost. I forget who bought the Remington name and like rights to like the 700, the 870. Someone bought that, but they haven't done anything with it yet. So right now you cannot go. That's why when I got my Bergara, that rifle we shot, the long rifle, I was looking for a Remington 700. And when I went looking, they're like, it's not. I had heard Remington like was going bankrupt and getting sold off, but same thing. I'm like, oh, someone's gonna buy it and just revive it.
It's like Hostess.
There is,
like,
yeah,
there's
exactly.
no way it's going away.
No. But yeah, they're like, there is not a new 870. There's not a new 700. They're gone. Like, no one's making them. And to my knowledge, it's still the case, which sucks. So I got the Bergara. But
so is it Kryptik, or are we gonna go ahead
Click
and
on
buy
that.
Remington?
Huh?
So is it Kryptik, or do you want to go ahead and buy Remington?
There we go.
Oh, damn it. It's still a tiny it's a bigger picture on the preview.
I think it's a bigger picture here. But yeah, it looks very scarish.
I love that.
So, so like I said, Bushmaster was the one who was making the civilian ones. During this Remington sale, somebody bought the Bushmaster name. There weren't a whole ton of details about it. No one knew who did it. But the person who bought it was Franklin Armory, the people who make the binary triggers and stuff. I don't know if you, side note, I don't know if you've ever looked, but like Franklin sells some of their AR lowers with a binary trigger already built in. Oh, hell yeah.
That's pretty cool.
So, recently, very recently, Franklin Armory's website, all of a sudden you could go to franklinarmory.com/ACR. And all it is like an outline, and under it says soon to be perfected. And people are like, oh no. So Franklin Armory, I think, is about to revive this bitch.
Let's go.
Have it come
So,
in.
Franklin Armory, is that like old Benjamin Franklin air rifles? Like the same company, or?
I don't know if they make... Well, they make a bunch of stuff. Like I said, they have some of their own lowers. They're the ones who make the binary triggers.
I was going to say, because I've never heard of Franklin Armory. I didn't know if it
They're
was like...
they're not huge. I mean, that's a lie. They have the best binary trigger, in my opinion. I haven't shot, but the function, I like the function the best. But I mean, they're a fairly big brand. They're not, I don't think, known as a manufacturer. I guess that's what I meant. I don't think they're a huge manufacturer. They make a lot of parts and accessories and stuff. They make some of their own guns, but I can't tell you a model that's like a Franklin. Like I said, I know they make some ARs, but so does everybody.
It's a fun little Reddit there. Our guns. I wonder what kind of person's running that.
I found a lot of
A
strange
place for
things.
responsible gun owners and enthusiasts to talk about guns without the politics.
Yeah, that never happens.
That's somebody that's gotten bullied over their politics.
The amount of super leftist gun groups I found on Reddit is weird.
I was going to say that's what that seems like.
But the ACR, I think Franklin's probably going to come out with it because they're not known as a big manufacturer. The amount of people like you just said that love the ACR, like, dude, if you could get the price right and have the accessories and stuff, they could nail it. Why I brought it up is if they put binary triggers in those factory, and if you can swap the barrel, if they make a 6.8 millimeter barrel, once the civilian trend always follows what the military does. So if the military switches that 6.8 millimeter round and that's compatible with these, drop a new bolt and barrel in this thing and have it shoot that. That's a future, baby. I told Megan, I'm like, if they start making this, it's going to be a while. They're going to be super hard to find because people with deep, deep pockets are going to go get them. Like, but one day, this is going to be,
Yeah, I like those.
it's going to be in the safe. Especially if it's a 6.
I was joking about the Call of Duty thing when I said it at the beginning, but I really did learn some stuff from playing it. Like,
Oh, for sure.
I mean, not like as in depth as the stuff
how
we're
to
talking
shoot
about.
around corners, how to...
No, but seriously, like in history class and stuff, I knew some shit from Call of Duty. Like teachers would ask how I know stuff. I'm like,
I'm sure it helps.
like the old
especially
World
with,
War
like,
II Call of
gear.
Duties, you learn a lot of shit.
Oh, the really old ones for
Yeah,
sure.
like
Now
the
they've
World
gotten
War
a
II.
little gimmicky, like where it's World War II themed.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah,
the
I'm
old
talking
ones.
like how there was nothing that even mentioned Hitler or the Nazis in what was it? Call of Duty World War II.
It was just called World War II.
Yeah.
Most recent World War II one.
They had red flags, but they had a cross.
Yeah, it was
on
like the Iron Cross.
Didn't they have to change it though? I thought the original had it.
In the multiplayer, they used the Nazi logo because it was historically accurate. But in the multiplayer, they were just German. They weren't Nazis. They were just
Okay.
German, and they had the Iron Cross. And
Is
stuff.
that also because I thought it had to do with a country thing? Like, so online, other countries are playing. Like, I thought the U.S. the single player mode
It,
could have that.
They don't
But-
care in any other game.
no.
do you
It's,
mean?
it's
Like,
it's like if they took Wolfenstein and took out all the Nazi stuff. From
I've never played that. I've heard of it. I've never played it though. Have you?
it's a good time.
Picture Call of Duty Nazi zombies, but an entire game.
Okay.
It is extremely violent and extremely.
I'll probably have to check it out.
It's pretty anti-Nazi, so I mean,
Oh, that's a plus.
yeah. So if
But
you're into that kind of stuff,
It's just one
If
of
you're
those,
into not liking Nazis.
it's just one of those where I'm pretty sure that the reason that they took out all the Nazi stuff from Call of Duty World War II was PC related.
yeah, that's what it was.
I believe that.
Just
That's
like
better
how,
than Battlefield.
Just like how with the Assassin's Creed, they threw out the one they were making. It was supposed to be Civil War themed.
Oh,
And
dude,
it
that
was
would have been
supposed
so
to be
good.
Sons of the Confederate Army. And they got rid of it because that was when the whole banning the rebel flag and all
Oh, that would have
came
been
about.
such a good game, man. I'm balls deep into the Civil War. It's so
Yeah.
interesting to me.
Did you ever watch that movie Lincoln?
Uh-uh.
Dude, I'm telling you,
I watch documentaries and stuff.
it's a super cool movie.
Which one? The one where he fought vampires or the one where he fought...
No, with Daniel Day-Lewis.
I've seen bits and pieces of it.
Do you remember I told you when we watched 42, or when I watched 42, I was like, I knew like the general story, but when I watched it, there was a point where I was like emotionally pissed watching it, and I'm like, there's no way people were this horrible. It was kind of the same thing, except I felt sad about what the country was like at the time, if that makes sense. Like when I watched 42, I was like pissed. Like the one guy talking to him during a game, I was pissed. And
To
it
me,
was like
that's
so-
worse than the Civil War thing. The Civil War stuff is just so hard to put into context because the world is so different. Like,
I guess that's what I'm saying. This movie really kind of pulls you in.
yeah, I'm interested in that because
They're good at selling that like Lincoln was like in turmoil. I mean, it basically picture being the guy who's in charge of keeping the country together.
Well, what sucks is that like he wanted to get rid of slavery, but like even in the North, they weren't pro black people. They were just, oh, they're not going to leave our country. That's mainly what it was. Like, what?
Abe Lincoln is quoted saying, "If I could end this war without freeing a single slave, I
Yeah,
would."
he would.
He
That's
was-
what he's saying. He was in
He
turmoil.
was not for getting rid of the slaves.
Yes,
he
he
was
was.
for ending the war.
He was for doing it. At least
He was for
No, I'm not
doing
even
it,
gonna
but
say.
things got so bad that at points, I'm sure he cared more about the war ending than. I mean,
people say this about the founding fathers when like, oh, they own slaves. They own slaves.
Yeah.
No, it's the same thing I always say about gun stuff when when people, well, that's not what they had in mind. Now,
Yeah,
if you
they had a musket that you had to load and pack. That's what they had in mind. They did not have fucking 30-round clips and all that shit.
again,
Double barrel extended magazine clips.
I just sent. Was it to you guys? I sent the ghost gun video. Or was it just
yeah,
with
it was
Dad?
me and you, Dad.
Have you ever seen that? This is a ghost gun.
No.
I'll have to pull it up in a second. It's the worst thing I've ever seen in life. But
I'm not justifying.
what I'm getting at is if you, with the gun thing, again, when people are like, well, they didn't have this in mind, that's because you're literally reading the bare minimum, which is the Second Amendment quote on Google, and you're not doing any research. The letters they wrote to each other, there's so much information uncovered. Well, it's the same thing with slavery. When they're like, well, if they were against it, they should have just written it out at the time. they did this. There were letters. None of them liked it.
The thing, like, I think the part about Lincoln, like you just said, that he would have ended the war without getting rid of slavery, was probably true at one point, but that's because, like, if he had come out and said, I want to abolish slavery when he was running, he wouldn't have won.
Right.
Like, he knew, like, it was such a big thing. Like, you can't.
What was the same thing during the American Revolution? If they said we're going to do this too, there's going to be some people at the time who were like, well, screw that. Plus, like, it just, you turn people against you. It's like you need to fight battles. Weird word to use, not like actual battles, but kind of pick your battles in the order they were strategic about. But there's letters back and forth where they're like, yeah, one day this needs to go away, but it's just, you can't do it right. It's basically too much change at once, and you'll lose. It's not going to work.
Honestly, the Civil War thing, it's like, there's so many, like, I'm not even saying fascinating politically. Well, I mean, that's part of it, but what I mean interesting is it's like U.S. against U.S., and it was like, to me, it's just so interesting.
It was a cool time. I know what you mean.
The battles, like, on American, like, in American towns, like, the logistics of what they were going into and all that stuff's super interesting to me. Because aside from, like, the Revolutionary War and, like, smaller wars.
Shots fired segment.
I'm surprised it took this long. I figured when you said
no
life
kidding.
is shit. There's no
Life is shit. I just want to die.
Get the whiskey. No, but it's.
No, I kind of forgot.
I think there's some super interesting
So what are we drinking?
tidbits.
That's a lot. This is your Lead Slinger Fighting Spirit Rye.
It sounds like what they were
The
drinking back
Vietnam
then.
themed one.
That's kind of like, huh?
Is that the Vietnam themed one or the Civil War themed one?
Yeah, I screwed up. Should have done the Civil
You have
War.
a Civil War branded whiskey that you didn't break out.
It's like down there, like.
He goes, it's down there.
It's down there with his stacks of whiskey.
I think it's just more generic. I don't think it's.
Hi, my name's Kyle, and I'm an alcoholic.
No, it's just. It's got an M4 on it.
Oh, it does. You're right.
How do you think the North won?
We hit it in volts for 100 years.
MP5.
They're like, we found this cool shit. You should try it.
You know that Dodge commercial where it's like George Washington driving a Challenger?
Yeah.
It should just be that, but like with a full auto M4.
Oh man, could you?
I highly doubt that would get past the marketing.
Yeah. He whips out of the Challenger
That was
and
the
starts
original-
mowing down redcoats.
That was the original version. You got to look it up.
He's kidding.
I was like,
I'm joking.
hang on, wait.
His face, he was like,
No way.
It was like Braveheart, but it was somewhere between Braveheart and the commercial that got put out.
that's a. No, Braveheart's the Scottish one.
Yeah.
The
what's
Patriot.
Patriot, yeah.
They always charge it back with the flag.
That's a good movie, too.
Yeah, it is.
He's a crazy son of a bitch. He's a good actor, though.
There was. Oh, damn. Somebody quoted. Oh, Mel Gibson?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is a crazy son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Was.
Is.
He said is.
Oh, I heard he was a crazy son.
Oh, he's doing better now. He found God. He's good.
He's cleaned it up.
See, I think that's when it went to shit. When he found God. What's your passion of the grace?
Good movie.
You remember?
Good movie.
That
Well,
is-
you remember what he said afterwards, right?
That's okay. You don't need to.
Oh, I'm not going into it.
Oh, man.
If you're interested, you can find it.
People know.
At this point, yeah.
God. Yeah, he kind of went off the deep.
I knew, but I'd forgotten about it. We recently re-listened to some of those, and I was like, Jesus.
No.
Nope. Now, somebody quoted a thing from The Patriot today. It was on a post. It was like a good... It was a good quote. It was a...
Give me liberty.
I don't remember...
Yeah.
No, it was at the beginning. It was... Remember, they were... At the very beginning of the movie, they pulled him in to like talk about going to war with the British and we're going to try to become our own nation and stuff. And he didn't want to. And remember they brought up like, oh, well, you're this, hardened war vet. Like, I guess he fought and was it against the Indians or something? I don't remember.
Probably.
But yeah, and he didn't want to. But he had some quote about this country is going to be fought here among our towns and stuff, and basically like it's not just it's not in some far off land or something like that, and our children are going to witness this, and their innocence is going to die along with people, and it was like, damn. So some place posted it though, and they're like, when people, it was some like gun company on Instagram, but people were pissed about something. I didn't even read into it today, but I guess people were talking their shit, and they were basically like, okay, before you start talking too much shit, think about what you're saying. Yeah. And then they posted that quote, and I'm like, not saying it's ever off the table, but chill out. Like, that's kind of a Plan Z kind of thing. Like,
yeah.
So it was some really good quote though, but I got to think about that movie literally today. I was like, I can't watch that again.
We watched that in 8th grade.
In school?
Yeah, our teacher in my American history class, our teacher kind of hinted at us that like, kind of hyped it all year. Like, yeah, we'll watch it at some point. We watched it like the last day of school. It was the last day of 8th grade, so we were moving on to high school. We weren't going to be back in that building anymore. So it's like, all right, I guess you could watch it. So we watched it, and like I remember still, it got to the point where he's like, he throws the hatch or whatever at the dude's back in the creek, and it's like slow motion. The dude falls, and all the guys in the class are like, "Yeah, let's go!" But yeah, he waited to the last day. That was a strategic move.
It's a graphic movie.
It's like not only was it smart because like he's not going to be our teacher anymore, but it's like there's so much going on last day at school. They're probably not going to mention that they watched that. So it's just like,
yeah, like no parents like. So how was your last day of school? The kid's like, we watched The Patriot.
Yeah, it was just like, all right.
It's weird to even think like when I said that though. It's mostly the graphicness that's wrong with it. Like thinking of that as a controversial movie seems weird too.
It has some pretty heavy themes.
Yeah. They're pretty pro-American in general themes.
Well, I mean, wasn't it early in the movie they killed his kid right in front of him?
Yeah.
It was
made some
middle of the movie, I think.
I'm not talking about Heath Ledger. I'm talking about his youngest son.
Oh, yeah, that was pretty
Yeah,
early.
I'm pretty sure they made some.
And then throughout the rest of the movie, he's melting down his kids' toy soldiers to make ammo.
I didn't say it wasn't heavy.
It's pretty damn heavy.
It's just pretty.
No, it is. I know. I'm agreeing with that. I'm saying I don't think it's like at the time that looking at that as a political movie that half the people would not like. That seems crazy.
I don't think this was for political reasons that we couldn't watch it.
That's what I meant.
Okay,
I said when I said that. Now I'm picturing. I'm like, yeah, you couldn't watch that, and I'm thinking because of political reasons you couldn't show that. I'm like, that's kind of crazy. Like, yeah, all the other stuff is. It's a strong.
Remember when pro-America wasn't controversial in America? Yeah. Oh.
Betsy Ross
whiskey.
Yeah. Drink up. It's good stuff.
So what is it?
Lead Slingers. This is a rye.
Would you try it?
I sniffed it.
Strong?
Paint thinner.
Yeah, it's pretty strong.
It's a rye.
That's not bad at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, the smell is definitely not just.
Yeah, that's a lot more bark
I
than
can't. I can't smell.
Listen, Mr. COVID.
Over a year ago. Still can't smell.
Okay.
I've probably just had it perpetually this whole time.
You're
I'm just giving it to everybody.
You're the one
I
that
see.
keeps making these new variants. You're like, yeah, I still can't smell.
They're like, in like 5 years, we're like, it keeps coming from the same damn place. We've narrowed it down.
Oh, Jesus.
That would suck. Just like a chronic.
Just being patient zero for
You know
the
what?
rest of your life.
Well, if that's the case, the only symptom is I can't smell. So, it's been getting a little better lately. I've been noticing.
Smelling? Yeah.
Yeah. I've been getting whiffs every now and then, but the other day I had probably a dozen times. I was like, I got something.
That's so weird to me.
It's bizarre.
You know my cousin, Mr. Anti-Establishment, right? You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna name drop him.
No, I think if you just say your cousin, and I know who you're talking about. I don't.
Yeah. My cousin with all of his conspiracies and
Okay, that's...
COVID's
He's not
real.
level-headed like you are.
He got COVID, the Delta variant. Now,
How do you know?
instead of it being a made-up, fictitious disease that they're just trying to scare us and all of that, now all of a sudden it's the government made this disease and we're all going to die.
They made it after the fact for the people who said that it wasn't real. No, I got to be honest, dude. And I've been this close to commenting on Facebook a few times, but I'm like, I don't even want to. It's just not worth it. But some of the crap, like, I guess it seems like half the country thinks that they're in on a joke about the other half. That just makes no sense. Like when people are like, "Oh, you're a taker horse dewormer," I'm like, "What are you talking?" Like, I don't know anybody. I do not know one person who's like,
Ivermectin or whatever it is.
now that may work, but you're lying by calling it it's an FDA approved medicine for humans. Like it's not a
Yeah,
only
it
used as a
was
horse
used for
dewormer.
horses, but there's also a much smaller dose that's been used medically for a long time.
Yeah, but like someone so an example is like the people who don't believe that.
Well, it's like,
I keep saying that, like people who don't believe it's real,
remember hydrochloroquine?
and then people who injected the Quopon cleaner and
Well, I'm talking about how that was, oh, put bleach in you, then you'll live, and then
Yeah, and
doctors
it's
like,
like-
hey, this actually works. Like,
Hey, if bleach kills it, like just drink bleach and you'll be fine.
shove a light inside you. That was another one. Trump had a speech where he didn't understand what somebody said.
wasn't his best shot.
They probably said it about 2 minutes before he was on camera. You didn't see it?
No. Shove a light inside you? How many people
He didn't say
were
shove
in
a
the
light
ER
inside
with a
you.
light bulb stuck
They
in
they said
places?
that COVID was very not resistant. What's the unresistant? Not very
Unresilient?
sure
Not very resilient.
to UV light. And so he said something about if there's a way you can take the UV light and I forget what he said. Again, I don't know what they said either. So it was one of those things. He heard something and he's like, "Ooh, that sounds good." And he went up and said it
Take a light here.
without thinking it through, and it didn't sound good. Well, the dude was funny, but he,
Remember when you could like understand what he was saying though? Like the president was actually speaking in complete
it's
sentences.
like when, yeah, true.
Listen.
They were
Look at me,
stupid,
Matt.
but they were. You get what he's saying.
Come on, man.
I can't. Anyway, some of the stuff that people post on Facebook, it just kills me. Like again, like so that's a good example. People are like, "Oh, you guys think it doesn't exist?" Like,
I've never denied that it exists.
you saying your cousin is the first person that I even know, friend of a friend, who doesn't believe it exists. I don't know anybody who
Did he
thinks
really
it
think
doesn't
it wasn't
exist.
real?
Oh, yeah, he thought it was completely made up. It was just
See,
a
that's
way to keep
dumb
us
as hell.
indoors and take our freedoms away. That's what he thought.
That's goofy as shit. I think it's being exploited.
I was gonna say,
But-
the second part
I'm
I'm on
like,
board.
people are dying. Like,
Right.
You can't change that. He's like, how many people do you know that have died of COVID? Well, now I know like 3.
Is your cousin Alex Jones? How many people do you
The
know?
Bronx game.
How many people do you know?
See, Alex Jones is more reasonable than that.
But no,
We
it's
need to
just,
get him on here.
I don't know, dude. People who denying it, and then people are like, "You gotta take your horse dewormer," like all these stupid things. And then the thing I keep saying, "Oh, you're God Trump," and I'm like, there are definitely people who that applies to. It is not all the people that you think it applies to, and it's just a dumb insult. Like, I'm like, you're making it okay. This is Kryptik Tactical, so it's cool, but I keep going back to gun stuff. Do you remember I said people who don't know anything about guns who go on Facebook and try to make this point? I'm like, you may sound good to other people who don't know anything. You are not convincing anyone who knows the first thing about what they're talking about because they know what you just said is so wrong. Like, you know what I mean? Like, why would I listen to you? You don't know anything about what you're talking about. It's like when people are like, why do civilians need these fully automatic machine guns? It's like,
They can't get them.
they don't have those. Like, again, like, you're
It's on
so
both sides,
clearly
though.
misinformed. No, and it definitely
It's
is.
like, remember, like, literally 2 weeks ago, we went to the range and we saw dudes there.
Oh,
It's like,
God.
okay, cool, pro gun. And then they're like, and they're probably like racist morons who, like, You ruin everything that we're trying to get accomplished here. Like,
Yeah, we were there, zeroing our rifles, having a good time, and these idiots are flagging each other on the line, smoking dope.
Each other and everyone else at the
Yes.
range.
At one point, the dude's sitting there shooting down range
Oh, my
with iron sights on his AR for like 10 minutes, just shooting,
At 100 yards.
and just goes, "Can somebody tell me if I'm hitting anything?"
Did he even have iron sights? I didn't.
Yeah, he had iron
okay,
sights.
I didn't even know he had those.
Oh my god.
But
My whole point with that was, it's people like that to where if you have somebody, we're about as pro-gun as you can be. If you take somebody that's either neutral or anti-gun, and be like, "Oh, just come to the gun range and see," and you see those guys,
yeah,
you're not feeling good about your argument right
it
now.
does so much more harm than good.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'll be real, with that guy flipping his rifle every way, flagging us, flagging his own group, flagging the gentleman with a pistol next to us. With him flagging, that's an ND if that gun would have gone off. That's not an AD. That's not an accidental discharge. That is a straight negligent discharge, and it's not just on him. It's on his entire group that allowed him to do that.
I swear there was part of me that was like, do we need to do something here? Like,
Yeah, that was bad.
they didn't seem like they wanted to be told by strangers what they could and couldn't do. But
What do you mean I can't shoot my rifle like that?
But I've told you before when
So
I've
do
been
you, do you think this is how, like, we talked about it last week at baseball, like, do you think that's how Bill Maher feels when he sees, like,
on 100%.
people on the left doing the shit they're doing? He's like, oh,
For
geez.
sure. Yeah, 100%. And then to an even bigger extreme, it's the people even further left of him, like the woke people, are doing when Biden's botching this. The amount of people that have been so pissed about Biden only because it makes them look so bad right now.
Oh, yeah.
But
They're
reeling
turning
it,
on him hard.
reeling it, yeah, it's bad. The media's pissed. Like people are pissed. I've seen Democrats like communicating with each other, and they're like, "This guy's totally screwing us."
I follow a page on Twitter called Biden voters posting their L's online. And it's literally just like everybody, like, it's just screenshots of tweets where people are like, "Yo, I really voted for this shit." Like,
I got it, Paul. Yeller's my
What
dog.
happened?
Yeah,
Come say hi.
we're good.
Oh, I thought that was the dog beating on the door.
No, but I've told you before, like when I do comment on Facebook, I don't engage unless it feels like there's some sensible comment. Yeah, like people who are just so far wrong. I'm like, I had a distant cousin one time. I saw post something and I was like, I'm gonna tell you how to argue with people like me, like how to argue with people I agree with, because you're so far wrong. No one's taking you serious. But at the same time, it's like there's been times I do have good conversations with people in Facebook comments, and then someone comes along thinking they're like helping me, and they're like, "Yeah, and this." I'm like, "Stop,
Dude, we've talked about this
No.
before. It's like,
'Cause
it's like being a Cardinals fan. It's like you take pride in having a knowledgeable fan base and stuff. So when you see these people on social media saying this stuff, like, "Oh, Molina's still easily the best catcher in baseball," and this stuff, it's like, please
Chill.
stop, dude. Like,
Yeah, how many rings does your team have?" And it's like, bruh, it's been a decade. Chill with that.
Oh man, it has.
Yeah. Well, in about a month and a half.
see, we're still pretty spoiled.
Yeah.
10 years, Cleveland fans are like, bruh.
Well, 10 years, but you also got to think our 11 is still second place.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, by a good margin.
Who's the next closest? The
I think the Giants,
Giants?
are at like 8 or 9, something like
Yeah.
that.
And the Yankees running away with it at 27.
Yeah, they don't
That's
have one in a
insane.
long time either.
Yeah, I think they've 90s.
No, I think it was
They won in,
09.
I want to say, they won in 2009.
Yankees, Phillies. I remember that World
That's so
Series. I
weird.
just don't remember. I don't necessarily. Yes, because remember we talked about Derek Jeter won it, and he just goes, "Yeah." It's like, okay,
You know when you
enough.
won too many.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some videos, like they always show like each player's reaction at the end of the game, like when they win. And some of these guys like drop to their knees and just break down crying and hands up.
Oh, you remember the Cardinal celebration?
Yeah, and we saw Derek Jeter one time they won, and he just goes, "Yes," like just a single fist bump. He's like, "Yay!" It's like you've won so many times that it doesn't really mean the same thing anymore. Like
That was a fun time for baseball, though. That Yankees Phillies World Series was fun.
it's so weird to look back on times like some of the teams that were so good, some of the teams that are.
Ryan Howard, bro. I miss him.
Every time I think of the Phillies, I think of the Bakers. Is that weird?
What?
Were they big fans of them?
I don't think so.
They had a PS3, dude, and that
Oh,
was
yeah.
like the jam at the like. I think we started PS2.
It was
They
like,
had a PS3 and they had like MLB 2009. It was like hell yeah,
that was sick.
good times.
Yeah.
What are you thinking about?
Just kind of thinking.
About?
I mean,
He didn't play video
this
games.
conversation went from what's going on to ammo to guns to Civil War.
That's how it
to,
goes,
to
baby.
a movie, and now we're talking about the Cardinals.
That's how it goes, baby. We can bring it back. Hey, you can tell me about.
I'm sorry. I thought that was an open platform. My bad.
Oh, my bad.
Back to the itinerary. Go ahead, John. Take it away.
No, I got nothing to say about the Cardinals. We're
No,
good.
take it
We
away.
just need
If
to-
we all pitch in on an ACR, it's gonna be fairly realistic.
See, but there's just one problem. I know what I want to. Me and you have talked. You know what I want to build.
I think I know why you want to too now.
Why?
Brandon Herrera. You were all big on him. You kept talking about him.
Yeah.
And so then I went. I knew who he was. I hadn't watched much of his content, so I subscribed.
AK guy.
The AK-50 guy. He's building an AK-50.
I did not know that.
I don't believe you because it's in
Yeah,
every
that-
video.
that
I
reaction
did
was
not
not
Dude,
know
convincing.
it's his.
I didn't know that.
The song at the end of all his videos is called AK-50. He wears shirts that say AK-50, and after like every other video, he ends it and like we're still gonna do the AK-50. He's trying to.
Yeah, and I want to do an AR 500.
If you're gonna.
My way. Let's do it, Kyle.
Double?
Well, 223 ammo is getting expensive, so maybe if
Or
you
just-
take
And
out
I
the-
mean,
Should you just reload that 500? It's a economical choice.
well, not per round, but one of those will kill 7 people. So
I think you mean paper targets.
yeah,
It'll obliterate 7 paper targets.
it shoots. Never mind. Not gonna say that quote.
Not what
Not
quote?
today.
It's
Oh,
okay.
it can be
Okay,
people. It
have
can
you
be
seen?
Taliban.
Have you ever seen Johnny Dangerously? It's a movie from the '80s.
Oh.
Oh, they're talking about the '88 Magnum. They made it for him special, and the dude goes, "It shoots through schools." Well, you can't say
I have
that.
seen that. I
Well,
have
you
seen that
can't
before.
Say that.
Corey looks so
Can't say
uncomfortable. You're like, I have heard that. I saw that clip somewhere. Yeah, that's
No,
rough.
I'm thinking people because I always go back to that clip on that whatever that show was called. Oh my god.
Deadliest Warrior.
No, that's a great show too. Let me bring that back. No, it was on History Channel. It was called like Sniper Between the Crosshairs or something like that. But there was this dude in Fallujah who shot like 150 cal round through a brick wall and killed 3 Taliban.
Yeah, I saw that.
That was
that
sick,
video.
dude. That was-
You see, like 2 heads bob behind the wall. The wall just all of a sudden gets obliterated, and you see just the wall behind it painted red.
Yeah.
Dude, the power behind some of those things is so
History Channel used to be
stupid.
cool, man. Yeah.
It's insane.
That just blew my mind because at that point I didn't really understand like collateral damage or anything like that, and I was just like,
I don't know if it's true or not. At Basic, they told us there was something that, like, if you hit close enough, it would kill somebody. I think it was like the helicopter rounds or something, like from the sky or something. They said, like, if it hits in your vicinity, it'll kill you. I don't know if that's true or not.
I'm guessing if it zips right past you, the shockwave.
I thought maybe like hitting the ground near you or something. I don't know. That doesn't make sense, though.
Some of those rounds they splinter, so maybe it's the shrapnel from the
Could.
round on impact.
I hate when things don't make sense, and it's like I know I've heard them, but it just does not make sense. Somebody did a test, like if something zips by you. I think they said it was a 50 cal. Like even if it misses, the air moving past it can kill you or something. And they tested that, and it did like nothing. Like nah.
Deadliest Warrior might have been the greatest show of all time.
It always had that solid divide though before and after Gunpowder. You never watched it, did you?
Oh, I watched it.
Okay, you just had the same faces when we started talking
Not
about
always.
baseball.
It didn't always, because like one of the episodes that pissed me off the most was Pirate versus Knight, and it was like this seems unfair because like if you've never seen the show Deadliest Warrior, basically they take two factions throughout history and they run analysis on them and
Like Viking versus Samurai.
yeah, exactly. And they're in this lab and they run through tests and they test the ballistics of their weapons and all this stuff. And then they enter all these numbers that you take into account, like not only their weapons but their tactics and field strategy, all that stuff. They plug it into a computer and see who would win. It was an awesome show.
I think they run the simulation
1,000 times.
1,000 times?
Yeah. And then they have a little simulated battle at the end, which is always cool. But Pirate versus Knight, they said the pirate won because of the blunderbuss. And it was like, okay, that's not really fair. Like, you include gunpowder for one and not the other. I feel like it's not a fair matchup.
That's why they had the divide.
It was like the original
If that
episode,
was
I
an
think.
early season...
No, Spartan versus Ninja might have been original episode.
Spartan, right?
Yeah. Spartan won the whole season.
I feel like ninjas are overrated. Weren't they the best pre-gunpowder?
Yeah, so what they did, they took...
It was like the series finale. I
Yeah,
think.
the series finale every season, they would take the two top pre-gunpowder, and it was like Spetsnaz versus Green Beret.
What's up, buddy?
But it was Spartan versus Samurai was the season finale, and that was sick.
We got a visitor. Yeah, two
Two.
visitors.
Yeah.
What's up?
But what sucks is you can't find that show anywhere. I've tried to find it all over the place to watch old episodes, and I can't. Are you
talking.
leaving?
Keep talking.
Keep talking.
Hey, dude.
Did they get out? Cool.
Yeah, door wouldn't close all the way. That's why he's not allowed in here.
Yeah, but no, I can't find the show anywhere anymore, and it makes me sad.
That would kill on YouTube or something. Like,
That's what I'm saying.
you can revamp that show. I don't know what you do different. I did always wonder how they were like, we use a super custom computer program. And I'm like,
See,
I did wonder how accurate it is, but I did believe the results.
which one was it that won like 999 times out of 1,000?
There was some matchup that was stupid.
Like the most lopsided one.
They like it was almost like they paired the very first civilization where they had rock hammers as weapons against like bow and arrows.
There was one that wasn't quite that lopsided, but I remember one of the more lopsided ones was like Maui Warriors, which was like Polynesian. They had like obsidian swords and everything against like a monk whose main weapon was a wood staff. And it was like, this seems kind of skeet. That's not really fair. But yeah, the Taliban made him on that show. It was
Oh,
a
yeah.
terrorist episode. It was Taliban versus IRA.
Terrorist episode. I do. It was.
Yeah.
But again,
Shout out
so
IRA.
it's Irish,
Did
isn't
the
it?
IRA win?
Yeah.
Oh,
Irish
yeah.
Yeah, it's the
Republican Army.
Irish
They're
Republic.
badass.
Yeah, their main weapon was the Armalite 15.
17?
No, they used a semi-auto civilian.
Was it the 15 though?
That's what they said.
Okay. I don't know. They had like I think it was a 17 or 18. I think it's AR-18. It's just a little different. It's kind of cool to see like the same developers making something similar.
That was a cool episode. they used that, and they used like car bombs and nail bombs.
Remember the car bomb? Irish Special Forces are savage.
Well, these weren't the special forces though.
No,
Well,
this is the IRA. This is a terrorist group. Well, not necessarily. They're
it depends on
what
what
is it?
side
The
you
I just
are.
meant Irish in general.
Republic Army
They use
is what they
terrorist
call
tactics.
Yeah, and what their I can't really remember what their goal was. Wasn't it just to push England out?
To get under English rule, or get out
Yeah.
from under English rule. Yeah.
The that
Good
video,
show. check it out.
That video I showed you of the that Irish Special Forces guy.
Oh my god.
Dude, Irish are savages. I told him the best way I could describe it was Conor McGregor, but instead of MMA, it was war.
Well, I've killed a lot of people.
They were talking about like the best gun setups, and he was talking about what he likes and stuff, and he was talking about nowadays kind of where it's at is like the 11.5, 12.5 inch barrel on an AR. And he said something about, people argue whether the 5.56 has a lot of knockdown power. I beg to differ. I've killed a lot of men with a 5.56. Like, Jesus. He just says it like it's nothing. He doesn't care. He's like got a shit-eating grin as he's talking about killing people. Like, oh my God. But yeah, he was like an Irish Special Forces guy, came to the U.S., helped the U.S. Special Forces for a while. Oh, God.
Some of those European countries, their little special forces units are.
Well, the Irish, or Israeli. Israeli
yeah,
Special Forces are...
I learned from Call of Duty and Spike TV, bro. Because Deadliest Warrior, they had, what are they called? The Israeli... Was it the Israeli Defense Force?
IDF? That sounds right.
But they didn't call them that on the show. It was something else. But also the GSG-9, the French Special Forces. They're some badasses too.
I'll look that up now.
What?
Remember, Israelis. The Israeli Special Forces. You want another cool gun, the Galil.
Yeah, that's what they use. That's
that's a cool gun too.
Some.
Aren't they the ones that use the deagle as their sidearm?
Probably. I forget what they're called. Is the Deagle an Israeli gun? Yeah, Israeli Defense Force.
Yeah.
IDF.
Yeah.
I think it's Israeli.
I don't remember.
I know that it comes from over there. I think it was designed for Americans, but it was like a gift.
But like from a Magnum Research.
Just look up Desert Eagle Israel.
Yeah, Israeli United States. Place of origin, Israeli/United States. Okay, yeah.
God,
Dude, that was the jam for... Dude, in the mid-2000s, it was like a Lincoln Continental and a Desert Eagle. Like the coolest shits that existed.
That would be fun to do. We talked about stuff we could watch on here. If we could find episodes of Deadliest Warrior, that would be a fun thing to get.
Oh, hell yeah.
That would be fun.
We have another capture card, so we could put something on Chromecast or DVDs and watch it and kind of do a split screen thing.
Really?
Us reacting to watching stuff.
Yeah, so we could do commentary over an episode of Deadliest Warrior or whatever.
That would be so fun.
Or freaking Braveheart or Patriot or whatever.
Oh, we could watch Patriot. Let's watch Patriot.
Yeah, let's watch the Patriot and do a full review.
4th of July, we're watching the Patriot.
Unsuppressed movie nights, baby.
That's like a year and a half away.
What's the half birthday?
You didn't get what I said.
What?
The 4th of July, that's like a
It's
year and a
once
half
a year.
away.
It can't be a year and a half away.
Oh,
Maximum,
I
it can
got
be a
it.
year away.
I just now got it. What's the half birthday?
December 4th?
August, September.
No, it would be January 4th.
Yeah. January 4th. No, it can be far out. We got to do it on 4th of July. No, because then we watch fireworks.
It could be our 4th of
Now,
July episode.
what about early morning on the 4th of July?
Or like he said, we just post on 4th of July. Watch a little bit before. Get in the mood.
There we go.
Yeah, that could be fun. We could do themed episodes.
Hell yeah. Do you remember that I'm okay sharing this idea here? Do you remember I said when we test either lights or optics or anything, I want like a signature test, like something that's like our thing.
Yeah.
I said we shoot a Coke can at it.
There you go. That's a good call.
Have you seen my can cannon?
No.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So basically, it's an upper for an AR-15. It's got a bar in it that keeps a real round from chambering, so it's not considered a firearm. So it's not a gun.
Okay.
It just uses an AR-15 lower to work.
It looks and sounds like a gun.
You put a blank in it, a 5.56 blank, and it's got this big tube that fits perfectly like a soda can or something,
Tennis balls.
and you can shoot it, and it's silly. Like the distance that you can shoot a Coke can is very, very far. It's a lot of fun.
Throw a nasty curveball.
And so I told him some of the videos I kind of want to test like the durability of like.
So you're gonna shoot stuff with a Coke.
So I'm gonna mount a red dot onto an AR and set it somewhere, and then I'm gonna shoot a Coke can at it.
That'd be another fun
It's
video
like
we could
a
do.
waste of an AR.
We could do
Nah,
batting
it'll be
practice
fine.
with.
I literally have a designated AR that I built with this in mind. I'm gonna beat the shit out of it.
We could do.
Are we gonna torture test it?
I named the gun Tammy Lynn because from Ted, where they're like white trash name, you'll never guess.
Know where you were going with that.
It's just a beater.
Jesus.
Dude, we could do fun videos with the cannon.
Oh, I'm telling you.
We could do batting practice with tennis balls again.
I shot a tennis ball at him with a bat, and the way we described it is picture a 90-mile-an-hour knuckleball.
Dude, after a few shots, the fuzz was coming off the tennis ball.
It was burnt off.
Yeah,
it was like
singed.
charred. It's pretty sick. But because it comes out the way it does, there's no spin on it. So it's just dancing.
Good
But
luck
it's like
guessing.
90 miles an hour. And he said, rightly, he's like, add on top of trying to hit a 90-mile-an-hour knuckleball, the mind fuck. You're pointing an AR and it's boom.
Yeah, you have the shock and awe of the shot, and then you're, it's
was a
not
good
a
time.
comfortable at bat.
We'll try it. It's a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah.
How far away were you? A safe distance, I hope.
90 feet.
I was going to say a little further than a pitcher would be. Yeah, but between 60 and 90
Like
feet.
my dad would try and get back there and catch, and it would like short hop his shin, and he'd have.
He had blood going down his shin because it would short hop him and like. It's not
Well,
like
it
game.
didn't start off that way, but because it was getting singed, the fur was getting like hard and plastic.
Yeah, it was getting like,
So it would, like,
hard and
scrape it.
abrasive. Yeah, it was like scrapes. It was dirty. It's a lot of fun. But yeah, you can send things a long, long way. The kick is unreal because, equal and opposite reaction kind of thing. A Coke can's pretty heavy,
it's like
so when
hitting
it
it
launches, it's like
It's like getting hit with a tennis ball at 90 miles an
not
hour.
quite, but it's a lot. It's heavy.
How fast does that Coke can go?
I wouldn't stand in front of the coke.
Not a chance. Yeah, I mean it'd probably we said it before. It'd probably kill you. I mean, if you like shoot it at a tree trunk, it
It
explodes.
would definitely fracture your skull or something.
Yeah, it's a bad day. You might not die, but it would be a really bad day. It's He's like, we might have a video idea.
Who's got the biggest balls?
We'd actually like a special guest to volunteer to be featured on the first video.
I'm just picturing like catcher's gear and a motorcycle helmet. Like, let's
Go!
We could find somebody.
Oh, dude. I don't know if I want to be liable. It's. I'll have to put when we're off. I'll show you on my phone. I have videos of us like launching it like at a 45-degree angle just to see how far we can shoot it. It's so stupid. It just disappears. It goes far.
Yeah, we were shooting it at trees and stuff. Just
Jesus.
we'd like blow the bark off a tree.
But they make attachments for it too. The company that makes it, you can look it up. They sell a cup. So like if you want to launch like bouncy balls or something like that,
That'd be
you
fun.
put this cup in there and like you can just dump BBs.
Yeah, airsoft BBs.
Yeah,
I'd stand
whatever you
front
want
of
in
that.
there. Would you?
Probably.
We could try that. They make one for spear fishing. So it's literally a spear with like a flat round back that slides into there. Don't stand in front of that.
I don't think I will.
They make a grappling hook for if you want to shoot.
Bro,
I've
you know
seen
what'd be
people
great
use it for
content? You
real,
should
too.
commit homicide on camera.
Oh my god. Make a grappling hook.
No, I saw people use it. They were trying to cut down a tree, and to get to the very top, they shot their grappling hook up there and tied it around, and then they had a wire attached to it and tied up to it and pulled the tree down. It's pretty cool. But now they make two new ones. They make one for an AR-308. I forget what that one was called. It wasn't can. It was like something bigger. Obviously, it's a big cannon. And then they made one that fits golf balls.
That's the one I want.
I think the golf ball one is an attachment if you have the newest generation cannon, which I don't know that I do. But I think they have an upgrade kit. If you don't have the newest one, you don't have to replace the whole thing. I think they sell like part of it, and then it lets you use the
You
golf
go
ball
golf
cannon.
with that, and then you can use the stock as a putter.
Joe, we should definitely do this.
We talked about this. Yeah, we were like, we're gonna do one where we golf against a. We'll have to get one of our friends who actually golfs.
No, we need to get like a PGA level golfer.
Or if we could just go to a driving range.
Oh god! Could you imagine?
Could you imagine if you could aim a little bit, like go to Top Golf?
Top golf.
That would be kick ass. I'll have to show it to you when we get off here. It's pretty sweet. But I saw someone, because I don't have any sights or anything on it, but someone put they got a grenade launcher sight from an M4, and they're like, I don't know how accurate it is, but they're like, it's closer than like iron sights, because it drops a lot. But it's pretty fun. I just kind of eyeball it. Maybe a red dot, just a cheap red dot on there would be kind of fun. But it's a good time.
You're not going to throw the new Vortex on there?
Nah, probably not that one.
Precision.
How much time we got left?
Left? We got
There's no time. We've been over this. What, do you need a cigarette?
Yeah, I'm kind of digging on a cigarette.
Jones.
Oh, I'm jonesing hard.
We could take a break. I could pause it.
All right.
All right, we'll be right back.
We'll take a quick break.
We are back after a couple cowboy killers.
Damn
I'm not familiar with that.
son. Cowboy?
Do what?
Really?
Is that a cigarette?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, well, Marlboro. Yeah.
I've never heard it. Sorry.
Yeah, no.
Well, he got, like,
I just heard it.
cool, man.
That's why it's in
The
my
way he
head.
just looked at me.
Cool,
Jesus.
dude. It's all right.
No, because he is acknowledging his own mortality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you are yourself a cowboy.
Well, I mean, I wear the boots. I wear the boots, the flannel, the jeans.
If you want to put it that way, I
the
guess.
hats are cool.
If there was a
but-
word to describe it, I guess you could use. I mean, other people have called me a cowboy, so yeah, I guess.
In a word.
I mean, I do carry a revolver.
Yeah, just like the ones they use.
That kind of works.
Yes, practical and, they'd use it if they had it, I bet.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
This is Lead Slinger's bourbon whiskey. No
The same
particular
one we already
name.
had. All right,
No,
I'm gonna kill
that was
this.
the rye. Yeah, kill it.
Oh. Damn, that's a lot to fucking
Cheers.
slam. Fuck.
It's a shot, baby.
That's like a double shot, but all right.
Shh.
It's not as smooth as that first drink.
Christ. It's not a sipping whiskey.
Oh Christ! Can I get some Splenda?
All right, so welcome back to Unsuppressed.
Oh,
Jesus.
good Lord!
Loud and in your mouth.
All right.
It's doing its work.
Yeah, I mean, we had. There were some names we could have used, but yeah, I'm glad we landed where we did.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Especially when...
Did you check to make sure that it's unused?
No, because I don't care. Our first podcast title, which is why I mentioned the pre-taping earlier, was used, which there's a lot of podcasts out there, so some are just going to be duplicates, and hopefully, people find ours. But the one we had was very local and very similar, so that didn't work.
Yeah.
So, and it sucked because we recorded an entire episode where we said it. I want to go back and listen to it and listen to how many
I'm
times
sure
we...
a good portion of the episode was happy that we found that name. Like, oh,
All right. Shots fired, bro.
Okay, there it is. Yeah, I was trying to dance around it. Anyway, they're probably more professional than we are and stick to certain topics, but...
Is that's what you were doing? All right.
yeah, no, I think we landed in a good spot though.
Yeah, I did too.
See, I kind of like the one Kyle named out. Was it talking shit and what was the rest of the title?
Getting hit.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, that was a slogan. That wasn't the
Oh,
name of the
okay, that
podcast.
wasn't
That
the
was
name.
the slogan.
I must have missed this.
You don't remember what it was?
No, I don't. What's wrong with that?
It's the boys.
Get unsuppressed.
It's the boys. No, it's a slogan. It can still be the slogan.
All right.
All right. What's our slogan, Kyle?
Keep making me reach for the buttons. Yeah. Welcome back to the Unsuppressed podcast. Talking shit.
Hey, cut the mic now.
We'll do it live.
I can picture somebody. I'll check this podcast out. All right, I'm out.
they skip ahead. Just like, what's going on here? Oh my!
I don't think this is for me.
It seems like a niche market.
How many people do you know of that persuasion that are gun nuts?
Oh God! I forget what the name was that prompted that, but it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
There's some
Leave it
people
alone.
we know that would be like, finally, somebody gets it.
We don't have many fans, but the people we have, we got them.
Yeah, quality over quantity, baby.
Oh no! You had a topic.
I was going to talk about air fryers, but I'm trying to come up with a transition, and I just don't think there is one.
I don't think we're gonna find it.
So we need a real studio,
I agree.
and the main reason that I want a real studio is so that one, I can smoke, and two, you owe me a desktop.
I did
You
say
did
I would
promise him a
desktop.
desktop, yeah.
I did. I don't know what it would be with.
Mine.
These
we
aren't
might-
gonna.
We might go deaf, but
But by God,
Hit that mute button, baby.
I wonder what we would have to do to the roof.
oh, I wouldn't. That's not safe. I'd down through the floor.
He's like, oh well,
That
that's
is
not
the
safe.
smart way to do it.
Yeah,
Well,
that's true.
I mean, it's gonna get stopped on the ground. It's not gonna land in a small child.
You remember when we were talking about the fragments of shit popping around?
It's not gonna have a
Hey, use
concrete
the
floor.
500.
500.
The gun he's talking about is a Smith & Wesson 500, a 50 cal revolver. So, you know, it's hefty.
Yeah.
Shooting that thing was crazy, dude.
Oh yeah, that was the first time you shot it.
Yeah, I hadn't shot it before that. I'd never shot one. In fact, you know what made me feel cool is I saw a gun YouTuber just the other day post a video. They're like, my first time shooting a Smith & Wesson 500. And I was like, I did it first. I didn't film it, but I did it first.
Yeah, you should upload a video now and be like, my second time shooting.
Can you still reply to videos on YouTube? Do you remember that was a thing for a while? There were like video replies.
Comments?
No, like a rebuttal. Like somebody makes a
Oh,
video.
But it would
you
show
can
like
make
like on Twitter where it's like replying to this video. I think they got rid of that. I think there's pretty much no
Yeah, that
use for
seems
that except for
pretty,
beef. Like
Yeah.
I don't know where
That's
it's like.
what we want to do. Who was the YouTuber that did that?
I don't remember. I just saw it in my
I was like,
Don't protect them.
I don't remember. It was
Yeah,
in my
it was
subscriptions yesterday.
I was like, watch him call out Demo Ranch on his first video.
Hey, FPS Russia, you're a bitch.
Dude, we were watching that last time he was over. God, we stayed up too late watching like
Jesus.
gun fails and stuff. Did you ever see him almost die?
Who, FPS Russia?
Several times,
Yeah.
but the one that was like known,
Yeah.
like he was like, I almost got offed. He stayed in character like a boss too.
It took him a minute to regain character.
Yes,
Which one?
where he shot the pickup truck full of tannerite.
And the shrapnel almost got him?
The
Yeah,
door
the door.
was like coming at him, hit the ground, and like curved around
Oh,
him.
no, I didn't see that.
Oh.
I guess
No, I saw one he shot something and shrapnel came and it like whizzed by him and then he
it was a door.
It was a full-on
And it was coming at him, hit the ground, and curved, and like went around him. But
He turned, faced the camera, and went, so I really like this rifle.
Guy's a legend, bro.
he said something like, maybe we'll have a little bang or a little tannerite or something like that. He shoots it, and he's like, So maybe a big boom. But anyway, it's like, but I guess he said we watched like the afterwards what happened. He said they normally hang it from like the rear view mirror and shoot in there, but this car didn't have a mirror or something, so they tucked it like between the door panel and the seat.
Just blew the door
Shot the
off.
door. Dude, I have a customer who showed me a video. They loaded a refrigerator with tannerite. I think he said it was like a pound. It's like, but they shot it in the door. Same thing, like came at them. Jesus. But they were too close.
I've seen the video.
People underestimate tannerite way too much.
Did you see the one where the dumbass freaking shut the lawnmower with the blades still attached?
Oh my god.
He loaded it with tannerite, shot it. Dude lost his leg. Like in
I
the
feel
video-
like I've heard about it. I don't think I've seen
Yeah.
it, but yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah,
That's-
like immediately after it goes off, the freaking you see the blast. The cameraman cuts like this, but you immediately see blood on the shooter's leg. Like his whole pant leg bright red.
People underestimate it way too much. We were talking about it. I'm like, it's one of those things. I obviously think it should be legal, but I'm surprised that it is. Like, all the things that are not okay for people to just have.
It's one of the things that like I think should be legal, but if somebody's like that shouldn't be legal, I'd be like,
I get it. I'm not going to fight you too hard. I mean, people use it for, like, because
Pick
I
your battles.
want to go hog hunting. I watch a lot of people use it for hogs.
Tannerite for hogs.
Yeah.
yeah,
You haven't
What's
seen that?
left?
you
Nothing.
Catch, you catch
You're
some,
not hunting them for food. They're trying to get rid of them.
catch
So what
some
they
bacon
do,
strips.
they'll
from the
literally
helicopter.
put a feeder down on the ground and turn a feeder on, and like 20 pigs go to the base of this thing, and they just have a pack taped to the right above the feeder, and they shoot it.
You're not familiar with hog hunting?
I know what hog hunting
No,
is.
I know, but like,
But yeah, it's not for food. They're
See, I
they're
thought
gross.
I thought they were getting them for food.
No.
I didn't
if you
realize
don't
that was
know,
just to
me and
take
Kyle
them
have
out.
discussed this. That's like our dream content is to film a hog hunt.
From a helicopter. Watch people do it from a
I got
helicopter.
a buddy. He's working on getting his pilot's license. He wants to buy a Huey.
I'd probably trust somebody that's
If it meant I could go hog hunting, the trust that I require of somebody would go down.
yeah.
It's like, for me to get in a helicopter with someone, we need to be here.
You're letting me shoot pigs out of your helicopter. I don't need.
Yeah.
You don't need to respect me that much.
You can probably keep it in the air.
If it helps at all, he's a vet.
Doing it from the ground would be cool too.
And if you go out, like, oh, how'd he die? Like, no, he's hunting hogs from a helicopter. Like,
Chopper went
so
down.
You know he was happy when he died.
Oh man.
He died with a smile on his face. I tell you that.
I would 100% hunt them from the ground too. It just hunting hogs
See,
is
I'd
awesome.
I'd be too chicken shit to hunt them from the ground.
Why? Because they charge.
They charge.
That's why you need a semi-auto. You don't do that with a bolt gun.
I wouldn't be doing it with a bolt gun. I'd just be too afraid that hitting a moving target that's pissed off running right at me,
Get better.
I'd get nervous.
That's the whole goal.
That's the whole adrenaline right there.
It's different when they're sending rounds back your way, but
If I
when
kill
they're just
20 of this
running
bastard's
at you
family-
with nothing, go look at this motherfucker.
If I
Nothing
kill-
but tusks.
If I kill 20 of his comrades, he better at least put up a fight. Otherwise, it's not fun.
Dude, some of the videos of people tannerite hunting, it's savage because they blow this
You
up,
don't say.
and some of them are, and they're like picking them off, like trying to finish them.
Did you
It's
see
bad.
the deer that they hit in the face with an exploding round?
Mm-hmm.
Did you
I
see
think-
that one?
With the eye, it's rough. You don't have to be an exploding round. That's a headshot to a deer. Does that?
Well, I thought
It's
that
pretty-
it said exploding round, but whatever.
It may have been. No, that
Oh,
one may have been. I'm just saying it'll do that anyway. I don't know. People who hunt with 5.56 for deer, I don't like it. Like, it's like you can use it, but
It's almost an unhumane thing because
Yeah.
you're just gonna hit the deer and he's gonna hurt, run away, and bleed out, and you're never gonna find him.
well, you could find them, but
Well, if you're really good at tracking.
I mean, you don't want too big of a round because then you're just wasting meat. Like,
True.
I mean, last fall we threw away a whole shoulder just about because there was bone fragment and stuff like that in it.
Yeah, but 30 out is probably the biggest caliber.
30-6.
Yeah.
This was with a 7mm odd 8, and it still had pretty hefty bone segment and stuff. I mean, a whole shoulder was what we could salvage with sausage meat. It wouldn't
Sounds like it needs to be a better shot.
roast. It was a perfect shot. Dropped it.
You dropped it?
No, Caleb did.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, his first one, I was his mentor. So I couldn't hunt, but I took him.
Oh, was that his first kill ever?
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Do you deer hunt? Or have you?
I have,
No.
but I haven't killed anything.
Well, let's go
Have
this
you ever
fall,
killed
dude.
anything?
Oh, no, I've killed plenty of things. I just haven't killed a deer.
He said he just got out of the Marines. I'm just kidding. Oh, that.
You're going to trigger my PTSD.
Tell us how that went. No.
No,
He said
I've
he
been
flashbacks
rabbit
to
hunting.
fucking squirrel
and-
hunting.
I've been rabbit hunting and pheasant hunting. You know,
Yeah.
I've killed things. I just
Small game.
I've never
I-
gotten a deer.
Deer's different.
Let's
I'm
go this
saving.
fall, dude.
I'm saving up for a buck. I have to get a buck for my first one because
you say that.
It's overrated.
I'm gonna mount one in my entire life, and I want it to be my first one.
You can still mount your first buck. It doesn't have to be your first deer.
That's the problem. I want to mount my first kill, my first deer.
And you could.
So I'm waiting till I get. I've
Doe is-
been hunting 4 or 5 times, and never gotten the perfect deer, the perfect buck that I wanted to shoot at.
I mean,
Doe is
And
better
I
than
just
meat.
kind of hang out. I hand my tags off to everybody else, let them take them, and then I just claim that they're mine if we get stopped by somebody else. I mean, I didn't admit that.
That
Well,
is
I mean,
not
no, we
condoned
st-
by
we
me
still
or
have-
by Kryptik Tactical.
We still have the tags. Like, it's not like
I know.
we're not poaching. We're just. I didn't
Yeah.
happen to get what I wanted, so.
I'm telling my grandpa on you.
Oh, I forgot.
No, I'm going dove
He
hunting.
was just joking.
I'm going dove hunting this weekend, so I had to buy. You have to have a migratory bird permit, but then on top of that, you have to have a small game permit, and that expires in like February of next year. So like, well, as long as I already have the permit, like I'm gonna find me some squirrels.
Yeah, you better bag 15 of those bastards. Because your boy did.
I got one last year, but I saw like 3, so that's pretty good. Doves are hard. You ever bird hunted at all?
Pheasant.
Okay, yeah. I got one pheasant. I went once. I got one. It was cool as hell, but it's expensive.
The pheasant I got,
I was a kid. I was little. It was like a youth hunt.
I got it with a 22.
Is that even? I mean, I guess you can. I didn't.
It was during. They were in season.
Yeah,
but we were just shooting, and when we went back to check the target after I shot, I had gotten a pheasant by accident.
I'm gonna leave it alone because I want to
It
call
was-
bullshit.
It was in season though, so
Did you have a permit?
Hmm?
Did you have a permit?
my buddy did.
You bought one after.
So
traded
I didn't get the pheasant. He got the pheasant.
traded him a deer permit.
So yeah, I recommend hunting. I won't go with you, but yeah, you should definitely try that by yourself.
I'll go hunting with you guys. I'll do it.
No, I promise you though, if you get your first deer, I don't think you'd be like, yeah, I don't want to do this again.
Well, plus, like I said, I do it for the meat. If
Like
I
said,
if I get some beautiful 10-point buck, awesome, I will mount it. But I go for the meat, and doe is better meat.
yeah, and that's I get that, and I'm not a game I'm not hunting for game. It's just one of those. Before I start taking out does for meat, I know that my family's always done that. The first kill you get, you mount, and I want to make sure that it's a decent buck.
You're
I
missing
mean,
out.
the land that we hunted on, the guy had a rule. He said you could shoot a buck, but if you're going to shoot it, make sure it's one you want to mount. So basically, don't shoot one with spikes and stuff. So, I mean, everybody's got their own little
Yeah.
rules. So, but
you know, you also eat the heart of your first kill, and I'm like,
Oh, I do it with
I'm
everyone.
not gonna eat the heart of a pussy.
what?
I want if
I
I'm gonna
just
eat that
elaborate
heart,
further, 'cause
if
I'm
I'm gonna
scared.
eat that heart, it better have at least 10 points on it. I'm not gonna eat a doe heart. I'm not gonna eat a freaking.
I
spike
do it with
heart.
everyone.
Serious?
It's literally the best part. I posted on Instagram. I had it all filleted up and everything.
Oh no! Bloody
Raw?
Cut it out. Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's much. I did a little smear. I did to Caleb and stuff, but yeah, nah,
Simba.
I'm not interested in that. I did have some raw tenderloin or backstrap.
I don't get the appeal, I guess.
But yeah, biting into a
Even Native
raw heart-
Americans,
You've
like,
never heard of that? That's a tradition.
Nah, that's a little much.
That's tons of people do that.
for the Apache, maybe. Yeah.
Kalima.
Yeah, an Aztec tradition. That's
That actually,
Oh,
you're
you
actually
know-
selling me on it because that sounds cooler.
You know that.
they did it with people.
Hang on.
They did.
Now that he's saying that, the guys I've gone hunting with have been native. That might be.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, that
No,
makes
no,
sense.
I'm not trying to.
No, just the fact that he's like, oh.
Well, no, because they've always told me this is tradition. You always eat the heart, and I was like,
You know what? If I was going hunting with native people and they told me that's a tradition, I maybe I would do it. It's pretty
Guarantee I wouldn't.
cool. We
I think even Native American. I mean, maybe they have their traditions, but I don't know. I feel like they're like. I mean,
I'm not
we
saying
have-
they all do
we
that. The
have
ones he
fire,
went with
bro.
did. We have fire.
I mean,
Once he did. What with it?
I don't mean current Native Americans. I mean early on.
I'm tracking.
I'm a little buzzed,
Oh,
but
like
you know what I'm
not
saying.
the ones that drive trucks, the ones that.
Please stop.
All right.
The ones that were older. That's what you were gonna say, and we're
Yeah,
gonna leave it
the
at that.
older wives are chiefs.
I don't remember what the hell I
hang
was
on.
talking about.
I have family that's native. I think they'd be okay with me making a joke.
That's one of
I
the
think.
coolest heritages.
It
to have.
definitely is. If I could pick something, that'd be it.
Like,
It's one of those things. You're. There's no way to buy into like Native American culture and not look like an absolute poser.
Yeah.
Unless you are, but at the same time, it's the thing I would want to buy into the most.
oh yeah.
Like all the stuff with like leather and stuff. I think it's so cool.
Just their. I don't know.
I don't know. I get a lot of friends that are native. I've got a couple cousins that are.
I wish I was.
Hey, yeah, it's one of those I don't pretend like I am, but one of my cousins actually does rain dances. Thought he was full of shit.
That shit's
He goes,
interesting to me.
he goes, I can do a rain dance. I'm like,
What do you
"No,
mean he
can't."
can do one?
He goes,
I could
no,
do
he,
one.
he goes, I can dance and it will start to rain. I'm like, bullshit, no freaking way. We're hanging out. He goes, watch. And he steps outside, does a rain dance, comes back in, sits down, and about 10 minutes later, it starts pouring its ass off.
That dude checked the radar.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you think he had like a
What
weather
I
app on his
didn't
phone?
realize was that when he walked out of the garage, it was to check where the rain usually comes from. He goes, now's the time.
That's
a
actually
That's
funny.
a party trick he saved up.
It's like I might get like 1 or 2 opportunities in life to get to do that. That's funny.
But
Yeah,
he swears up and down that.
I need you to know that he did not actually cause it to rain. You know that, right? The rain dance.
Are you saying that rain dances don't work?
I'm 100% saying that. Yeah.
Okay. All
So-
right. I didn't say that.
with this small game permit,
I'm
though,
saying that.
I'd like to bag a couple squirrels and stuff too.
Well, after
Did you say bang a couple squirrels?
Bag.
Oh, bag. Okay.
Yeah, whatever happens, happens.
Hey, man, once you're out in the woods, it's a free for all.
It's lonely out there.
Depends on how badly he wants to live.
It's deteriorating quickly. No, what he said.
All right, that's it for episode number 1.
I did last year.
Tune in next week for all the fucking.
Find out next week if Kyle had sex with a squirrel.
Oh, we're going to hell.
We talked earlier about like the group of people that were watching the podcast. A lot of them turned it off. And there's 2 or 3 guys who are like, "This is good shit."
He saw his friends like, you gotta listen to these guys. Facts.
I don't think a single person is like that.
No,
No, probably not.
Which one was this?
that's just a straight up bourbon.
What?
What?
He's asking about the brand and stuff.
Oh.
So people can know what we're drinking. Like, it's a bourbon.
I thought he said which one. Oh,
It's pretty,
Sorry about that,
it's
ladies
pretty
and gentlemen.
strong
I'm
shit.
Yeah.
spitting all over the place.
Lead Slingers Bourbon Whiskey.
Veteran owned.
Out of
I think it's Oklahoma.
Moore, Oklahoma. It is really good.
Which, oh yeah, because it's a bourbon whiskey. That's why they get away with that.
Here we go again.
I gotta lose the hat. I'm getting a headache.
Bourbon was traditionally. Now, we're not doing this. I want to finish talking about deer. Damn it! I'm trying to make the same point.
I don't want to talk about deer. I'm trying to get
It's an adrenaline rush like no other.
That's kind of.
I've not
So
been
last year I saw it was like 4 really little ones, and I was like, I would really like to just have some meat and get the hell out of the woods, but they were pretty little, and I think I don't want to say it's the same ones I saw the year before because I don't know enough about them to know how long they stick together and stuff like that. I saw like 4 spotted ones last year, or 2 years ago, like walking together, behind a mom, like, and that was I was like, I can't do it. Like they still had spots and stuff. Like I can't take the mom if they're that little. But this year I didn't see the mom. I saw these 4, and they were bigger, but they were still pretty small.
Were they still spotted?
No, they weren't spotted. And yeah, it was one of those things. I watched them. They were within 20, 30 feet of me. Like they were close. And I was like,
Venison veal?
I was like, no. And as soon as they got out of like where I didn't have a good shot, I was like, I should have done it. I was so pissed. I'm like, damn it. And then at one point, I would say middle of the morning, it was probably 10:30. I really had to go to the bathroom. And not the kind I could do in the woods. I could do in the
You got a
woods,
bucket?
but I was close enough to a house that I'm just going to walk to the house. So I walked to the house. I'm going back, and there's a good-sized doe. Like, I'm on my way back to my tree stand. She's, like, on the trail that I take, sitting there staring at me. I'm like...
I left my rifle in the stand.
But, no, I had it. But I was very close to the house. Very close to another house. And she was, like, kind of at the top of a hill. And, like, there was sunlight behind her. And I'm like... I'm just looking at her. I'm like, how do we move? Like, can I move so that you don't move? Or can you move just enough to where there's, like, ground behind you? So I'm not shooting up. Like, you don't want them skyline.
Oh, yeah.
And so I was like, damn it. And she, like, turned tail and ran up the hill, like, further. I was like, you bitch. So I left that one. And then, I didn't see another one the next day. That was it. But then, yeah, I went with Caleb for the youth portion where I couldn't hunt. And we sat out there for a day, didn't see anything. And then, yeah, the second day, it was, I'd say about the same time, 10:30, 11 o'clock probably. It was first part of the day. This one just poked right out of the woods. He was asleep. I had to wake him up. I'm like, dude. He looked and it's so funny, though, because the adrenaline rush I've gotten when I know I'm going to shoot one is crazy. I've never been like a mentor to someone else. So I saw it and I went to hold my binoculars up. I'm like, I'm like shaking. I can barely even look at the thing through binoculars. I'm like, oh man. And he had a perfect shot. I mean,
It's an adrenaline rush.
Yeah, it is. But that's what we've talked before about. I don't know where the cutoff is. Like I've hunted squirrels and I'm going to dove hunt. Nothing.
It's like skeet shooting.
Yeah, no adrenaline
Which
or
sounds
anything.
bad,
But yeah, we talked before. I'm like, where's the cutoff? Like, why is it such a rush with deer? Is it the physical size of the animal, or is it something about like we talk like maybe because it kind of resembles a dog, or it's like cute, like it looks more like
Because we all watched
I don't know.
Bambi as children.
I didn't.
never seen it.
I seen bits and
Really?
pieces of it.
You're telling me you didn't cry when they shot Bambi's mom?
Wasn't that like the first scene?
Yeah,
That was the very
They get you
credits
cr-
are still rolling and everything.
they get you crying right off the bat.
It's Disney, dude.
Oh man, Disney's always like twisted.
It's rough. I forget the
I
one
mean,
we
we're
just
not
watched.
talking bad about Disney.
We're all gonna be murked.
I'm gonna sue you.
Now we are. But no, yeah, it's weird what animals you get an adrenaline rush with and which ones you don't. Like deer for sure. I imagine, obviously, anything bigger like an elk, a moose.
I think it's something biological.
Like what though?
I don't know.
That's what I mean.
Nobody
Like,
tells you that it's different, but when I did it, I knew it was different. Like,
I think it's something about the physical size of it. Like it just
I think
feels
that's
like a
what it
bigger
is.
deal. Like I've seen, like we've had birds fly into it, like birds die. Like that doesn't seem like a big deal.
yeah.
But taking an
Yeah.
animal that's walking around like a again, not like they're huge animals, but
But do you feel sad if you see a dead deer laying on the side of the road?
I don't feel sad when I shoot one. It's like an adrenaline rush. So it's like, man, I'm telling you, it's weird. Nothing makes you feel more, I guess, primitive is almost like, I know it's gunpowder and it's a gun and it's not like you're, with a homemade bow and arrow, but it's still just like, there's something about it.
Are you doubtful?
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what exactly you mean. Like, I get an adrenaline rush, but
Like,
Probably the
It-
biggest
it-
adrenaline rush I've ever had. My first one.
I think so. It's enough to like make you tired. Like, I mean, I remember my first one, I crashed at night.
Like your hands are shaking. And
Like
everything.
for an hour or two, I was like revved up and then I crashed.
serious?
That amount of adrenaline. Yeah.
See, it's interesting that you said, because I don't remember how I felt about it before my first hunt, but I know like
Guys, I might be a psychopath. I've never.
no, it's because you've never done it.
You've never shot a deer.
Because we have a buddy that's the exact same way. That is like, I don't think I get anything out of that. And it was at work we were talking about. He's like, I don't think I get anything out of it. And his older coworker was like, "You never done it then, because I promise you, you will.
Yeah.
You'll get it."
Yeah. It's something weird.
All right. So I'll get my hunting license. We're going this year. Can I hunt with an AR?
We just talked about this.
I wouldn't recommend it. I'm gonna take my Scar though when I'm in the woods. I'm going two places this year. Probably. One, I have two places I hunt. One is kind of more wooded. You don't get many long shots. The
Yeah.
other is a field. And so for the field, I have that new bolt action that I have, that 6.5. That I'm gonna take that. But if I hunt in the woods, I'm gonna use that Scar, that 308. So I mean,
Your, God damn it! What was it that we just cited in
that red dot.
The Bagara.
the Bagara?
Yeah,
Can I
that's
use
what
your
I'm gonna use
Bagara?
in the field. Yeah, for the fielded plays, I'm gonna use that.
Like he said, like it's such an adrenaline rush that like our dad, who was in highway patrol and is like, not to be morbid, but has been around like recently deceased people and dying people. I mean, he got an adrenaline rush from spotting for me, and I'm sure he did with you too.
Yeah.
But, like,
And that was a funny part. Like I thought I was the one not doing anything. It wasn't as, like I said. I mean, afterwards I was revved up for hours, and so it wasn't quite the same way. I mean, I was able to calm down, and I'm sure part of that's age, part of it's having done it before, and part of it's I didn't do it. But yeah, it's definitely. I mean, I was still like.
I'm sure it's the same way for you. It just something felt so locked in. Like I still to this day remember like the smell of gunpowder, the smoke, like everything.
I remember it's not very long, like when you shoot these, but I remember shooting it, and like when it sounds stupid, but it's exactly what it looked like. The final kill in like a Call of Duty match, how it goes to like slow motion.
Yeah.
It felt like that. Like I remember the scope kind of going up and recoiling, and like a puff of smoke at the end of
Yeah.
the barrel. It was like slow motion. I remember it.
Well, the weirdest thing is it's like it goes from super quiet to loud, and then it's like deafening quiet.
Yeah.
And my dad was with us, and he was looking through the binoculars, and I shot, and like I was feeling that, and I smelt it, and my dad sitting next to me with the binoculars just goes, "Dead as a fucking doornail," and I was like, "How old was I?" It was my first. I think I was 16, maybe.
Maybe was
15?
it? Was
No,
it?
because 16 is a cutoff, so I was younger.
I was gonna say,
than that.
was it a youth hunt?
Yeah, so I was 14, I think.
14 or 15?
Yeah. And we got about halfway to the deer, and my dad goes, "You know, I'm not," he said, "I shouldn't talk like that. I was excited." I was like,
Well, what's funny is you had told me that story, and like I was not trying to copy it, and I thought it was funny. I'm like, yeah, it's funny to get that hyped up. Well, when Caleb, I don't know, it's like it's stupid, but it was like almost an immense sense of pride for him too.
oh, yeah.
But Yeah, I was doing the same. Mine was, I saw it and I go, fucking nailed him.
Yeah.
Because both of them dropped on the spot. Like right where it didn't run, it didn't do it. Bang, hit the ground.
And the weird thing, like, if you're not familiar, it sounds like you're being disrespectful, but seriously, like, it's adrenaline, but there's also this weird, like, in touch with what just happened and so much more respect for the deer. Like, it's almost like when you, in sports, if you play a team or something, you kind of gain that respect after. It almost is like that. It's like,
yeah, like if you don't respect, like to use your sports analogy, if you don't respect who you just played, your win means nothing.
yeah.
And so that's the thing. And you know what? Maybe that's like I was talking about the birds and the squirrels and stuff. Squirrels mind its business, and I don't think it's a cheap shot, but you're kind of just popping them when they're on a tree. The deer, it's a lot more of a challenge. Like, I mean, you're out there. Like I said, I was out there 4 days last year and didn't get one.
I got
So
real lucky.
it's almost like more of a game. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of preparation. Squirrels, you could go how I'm dressed with a AR with a 22 kit in it and pop a squirrel, and it just doesn't mean anything. But something about the deer was like it took preparation, it took work, and like I said, part of the like getting excited and stuff. How you said it was part respect for the deer, but getting that excited was like. Especially with the first one. To me, it felt like him. I'm like, you've gotten a deer now. Like,
Yeah.
like it's almost like some like
And there's some weird primal
part of
like,
the club almost. Like you've done it.
That's why I think like it's like biological almost because there's this weird primal thing like because it continued like I remember like when the family got together to eat like your deer. It's like
Yeah, like you.
there was
did
this cool feeling like
I put this on
I
the
provided.
table.
Like
Yeah.
it's like a manhood thing. It was super
It's
cool.
it's you need to get a deer. I'll tell you. Don't worry about
It's
the
like
damn
maybe it doesn't
points.
need to be a buck.
I'm telling you, dude, it's bizarre. That's what I was trying to describe with almost like the primal feeling. Like I said, it's not like I was out there in a loincloth and a homemade bow and arrow, but
It's like locked
Well,
in. I guess.
see, now y'all making me feel like a pussy because I haven't got one yet.
You were in the Marines. You're not a pussy. I'm just.
Well, what I'm saying is, you guys went and you guys provided. You got this adrenaline rush for providing.
well, 90% of
meal.
it's still in the freezer, and my little brother put it there. So it's
But-
not so much that, but
Well, what I'm saying is, like, I've never done that. I
let's go do it.
I kind of, I wanted the meat out of it, but at the same time, like, I wanted to go out and get a trophy for my first one,
The experience.
and then continue for just the meat.
How I
Not
said
worry
that
about
the trophy would be cool, but I'm there for the meat. I would say before that, it's almost the experience. Not so much. I get people who don't like hunting for sport. Like, I don't know. I don't
I disagree, but I get the argument.
Right. Yeah. I at least get it. But I don't go out there for the sport. Like, it's for the meat, but I would put. I love venison. It's very good meat. But I would put the experience is cooler than having the meat, for sure.
Venison's so
And then,
great.
yeah, it's,
See, you go to my uncle's house, and he's got fucking mounts all around his.
and if that's what you
face.
do, that's awesome. I mean, like
And
I
he
said, I
does
would
it all
definitely
the
do
time.
it.
And I said, that's like messed up. I want one, but I want it to be my first deer, and I want to make it something worth mounting. Because he does have a couple doe mounted. And it's like, why would you mount a doe?
Well,
If it's meaningful.
if you want to mount a first deer, yeah, I mean, it's got some significance. And I mean, they make like, I used to really want one. Like, I wanted to bag a 10-pointer just to, like a 10-point club. But like they make like rings, like for a 10-point deer and stuff. And I used to kind of be more on that. And like I said, it's one of those things, I probably wouldn't get a ring anymore. But it would definitely be a cool thing to do. I mean, yeah,
I still want
picture
a
I'm
buck.
proud
I've
of, and
gotten
I'd
two
put it up.
does. I've never gotten a buck.
Yeah, same. I've gotten all those, but yeah, the experience of doing it is different. My thought is, one day a 10-point buck will walk out in the field, and that's what it'll be. But I'm not gonna pass on. Like, that's not why I'm there, is to get a 10-point.
Well, that's
buck.
a.
And I'm not shitting on your
We don't
idea,
just do one at a tree stand. It's usually 2 or 3 of us just hanging out, bullshit.
Quietly. Okay, yeah. It's just like-
But we'll be sitting there, and
How many deer have you seen through these trips?
I'm actually actually kind of fucking pissed. I did shoot a buck one time. Shot him. We went down. We started tracking him. We tracked him for about 15 minutes and heard another bang. Kept tracking him. Got up there and some other hunter had shot him and killed him. I lost it. I've shot at 3.
Did you miss 2?
I missed 2. I thought I hit the one because he fell over, but I think he tripped when he
I was gonna
tried
say,
to
they
turn and run
jump.
away.
They're jumpy animals. A gunshot is a very unnatural noise for them.
The first one I ever shot at, I completely missed. Like, he just shot wearing out and he went and took off. The second one I shot at, he's the one I thought I hit. I think I missed him because he like fell over and then stood up and went off the other way.
They tend to go straight up and then start running. So yeah, if they don't come down right, I can see one falling.
The one that I hit him, he hit the ground, stayed there for a couple of seconds. I went, oh my God, I just got one.
And they take off.
Then he stood up, looked around, and trotted away. I was like, what the hell was that?
Zombie deer.
You thought.
No,
I had already put the rifle down because I was getting ready to stand up, and my cousin goes, yo, he's up. And I freaking dropped back down to grab it, and before I could, he just...
we
son of a bitch.
but mine have dropped. Like I haven't had to track one, and then Caleb's dropped. I think it's good luck. It could be the 7mm odd 8 is the shit. What kind of round were you using? Do you know?
30 out.
30-6. If he's walking that off, it's a badass deer.
Yeah, it hurt me.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Like ear protection or hearing protection, either one. That's like one of those things that's normally important, but like I didn't have that anytime I was hunting. It's like you don't notice that. If you shot a 30-6 at a target, your ears would be ringing. I really think there's something to the adrenaline that almost kind of cancels out. I've heard soldiers talk about that. Like guys who have been in combat, they're like, there's been so many times they've been caught off guard and not hit ear pro in or something.
Well, that and the 3M Ear Pro, like, you doesn't do anything anyway.
But I don't know if something about adrenaline like shuts that off or what.
Shots fired.
Yeah, 3M. You may be entitled to financial compensation if you served between, what was it, like 2005 and 2012?
2003 and 2015. And it really kind of steams me up that was the tail end of it. 2015, right? Why was I issued the same ear pro that is in a class action lawsuit when I didn't join till 2016? Answer me that.
Riddle me this.
I don't know where this is going. I'm unfamiliar. So.
The earplugs that they like was a standard issue ear.
They had a
ear
vent hole.
They call it ear pro. It's ear protection. It basically was not
Good.
effective all the way. And so there's a lot of people that are having hearing issues.
Okay.
And they're like,
Stick your fingers in your ears and try to have a conversation with somebody.
I hear fine.
All right.
So
All
just
right.
kidding.
No, but stick your fingers in your ears, try to have a conversation. That's how ear pro is supposed to work. Now, take both fingers out and try to have a conversation.
And then shoot a gun.
That's how the ear pro works.
Yeah, it's not good.
So they were ineffective.
Yes. Tinnitus.
Mm-hmm.
That would suck. I downloaded that. It's like some app that you can like pick the frequency and play. It's like the mosquito ringtone, except you can kind of adjust the frequency. And I looked up like what hearing range someone my age is supposed to be able to hear, and I was good. I was like, okay, I could hear like past what I was supposed to be able to hear.
I can't hear past. Ooh.
It's such a stupid thing to worry about, but I'm like, I don't want to be deaf. I've been around a lot of loud noises, man.
There are worse things.
Yeah.
I'm like, smell? Like I already lost that one. What?
You'd rather smell than hear?
No. I'm saying that's already gone. So like, the hearing's next, and
Shit.
then I can
He's got
taste and
four
see, and that's
senses.
it. I can
taste-
still feel
taste,
it.
The rest from
see,
heightened?
touch.
Huh?
The rest of them heightened?
I have been seeing in like HDR and thermal. That'd be sick. I stumbled upon some
Did you get COVID or did a radioactive spider bite you?
Porque no las dos. I got bit by a radioactive pangolin.
What?
Not penguin, pangolin. The animal that supposedly started COVID.
A bat.
A bat.
No, it came from pangolins. It went from pangolins to bats to people.
I don't know what a pangolin is.
It looks like an armadillo. Here we go.
Jamie, pull that shit up.
Armadillo.
It looks like an armadillo. Here we go. Keep talking about pangolins. You
Pangolins.
can't.
We
You
don't
haven't
know
heard
what
this?
the hell a pangolin is.
You haven't
I've
heard
never
of this?
heard of that. I've never heard that
Really?
word spoken. I don't know what that is. I've never seen that.
Pangolins. Here we go. Here, I'm gonna switch to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it looks
It looks like that Pokemon thing.
Yeah. Except it's from China. So.
That is a
Which
Pokemon.
explains- Yeah,
Yeah,
it is.
pretty much.
What do they call that one?
I don't
Bro,
know.
that's a dinosaur.
That is a dinosaur.
That's supposedly what started COVID. The bats got it from that, and
How
that
did
went
they
to
get
people.
it from that?
That's what
Did
the
they eat
stormtroopers
those?
are riding on Tatooine.
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 It depends on the pronunciation.
No, it doesn't.
I just pronounced it that way, didn't I?
Touche. You got us.
It's pronounced touche.
Oh, good lord.
That's a cool looking animal, though.
It is kind of cool. Supposedly, that's where it came from. Blab.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's pretty much confirmed now. It's not really.
Oh man, there's a hair in my whiskey.
The dog.
Yeah. Either that or pube.
Sorry.
All right.
No, I didn't get it.
Could be beard.
There's literally a dog hair on this.
It was
Yeah.
on the ground.
Yeah,
Who lets those filthy
I'm
animals
glad
into
my
this
present
room?
meant that much to you.
What?
This is one of the few gifts I've ever put thought into.
It's literally the showcase on our first episode of the
giving you-
podcast.
Shit.
Yeah, but you have it hidden behind a whiskey bottle.
Do you even know what this is?
Actually, no. I think it's a barrel. Like
Yeah.
part of a
Yeah,
barrel.
it's a part of the barrel.
Son of a...
Good catch.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's what is this? Like a flight
Yeah.
tray? Yeah, I don't know. Made from a whiskey barrel from Woodford Reserve. And then the bottle wasn't from that show off.
Oh, did you ever smell this?
I can't smell.
Oh, that's right.
That's all I'm saying. Show off.
That actually smells really good.
Yeah, I'm saying. That's not from the batch that
I
the
wish
bottle's
you could
from,
smell
is it?
this.
Huh?
It's not from
That
the.
would be almost impossible.
I thought so. Yeah, but yeah, they gave me that in a bottle of.
Shout out
Like,
to Celtic. She actually found it.
yeah, special edition of Woodford Reserve.
I'm
It's
not
one of
gonna
my
take
faves.
credit.
You already did.
Yeah, but I married her, so I get a little credit.
Yeah.
Tooch.
Tooch. Dude, this dog hair will not come out of here. And I don't want to fucking...
Alcohol kills germs. Just chug it.
That's true.
There's a difference between a dog hair
No
and
balls.
germs.
You'll eat a raw deer heart, but you won't drink whiskey because it's got a dog hair in it.
Listen!
Easy.
Practically licked that dog anyway.
That dog loves me.
Yeah, because you French him.
I do not. That's unusual.
Yo, don't say that shit so loud. I'll hear.
Gonna be pawing at the door.
Yeah, Mutual's gonna be like,
You ring.
oh
God. You guys want to wrap this up?
yeah, I guess so.
Oh, we can.
All
Well,
right.
we've reached BC.
I do believe that to finish the podcast, you should have to slam the rest of your glass.
Oh, I haven't had a sip yet. Oof.
I guess I need one more glass.
Oof.
Should I?
That's a big oof.
Should I or not?
I'll do it with you.
All right.
Oh, come on. Now you make me feel like a little bit. All right. I'll do it twice.
Thanks, Corey. Now you're making us drink.
I've been looking at it like, I should sip that, and you're like, it's like, let's kill him.
You didn't be sipping.
It's a toast to a success. That's a lot of whiskey. Like, that's
Yeah.
heavy in my hand.
You want to trade?
Yeah.
Huh?
You want to trade?
No, this is mine.
Okay.
No, this is mine.
Wait,
All
cheers?
Hell yeah.
Toast
From Taliban to deer hunting
to dog licking.
to a successful goddamn episode.
Well, this one might get posted.
Episode 1, it'll be posted. I gotta post it. You guys are shooting it?
I thought we were.
Just kidding.
Oh, damn it. Now I stop. To the beautiful people.
Touche.
It's got a bit of an oaky afterbirth.
An oaky afterbirth. Oh god, I feel like I'm about to puke. Not because of the whiskey, because of the afterbirth comment.
You never seen The Office?
We'll watch it. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll be back.
See ya.
Deuces.